Hello, hello, hello. Welcome into the Action Lab here on Twitch. We are live with you on a Wednesday night. We are ready to roll here, Scotty. It is going to be a big week and a half ahead of us, but we are here kind of closing things down. It's like, you know what I was thinking about?
You were thinking?
I was thinking it's a new thing.
That's a dangerous thing to lead the show with, Chris.
It's a new thing I'm trying out, and I figure this is the best time to do it right before football season to start. Is
it safe to share your thoughts?
I'm trying. It's not like senioritis, because like, you know, in senioritis you have something that you're looking forward to and there's like an end, you're kind of lazy. What's the opposite of senioritis? When you're gearing up for something big and you're like, there's a lull kind of, and you're kind of just like the calm before the storm. I don't know what the right word for it is.
I call it the week before NFL every year, Chris. That's what I call it.
Okay, that works. I guess that makes sense. But all I can
feel
say,
all the way down in my plum.
Do you think I'm ever gonna have my shit together to start a show?
No, you're never gonna have your shit together. You always are gonna be a mess. And with that being said, welcome to the Action Lab, your premier sports entertainment talk show on Twitch. It's like talking sports with your friends inside your living room, except everyone is all over the world. But we are here with you on a Wednesday night, as mentioned. We have a big show tonight. Knowing that the NFL season is starting off next week, we're not going to give a lot of love to college football, like at least initially. So what we wanted to do tonight is break down week 1 of the college football slate. Well, there was
last week didn't count, right?
Last week was they call it week 0, right? Is that like week 0? Then this is week 1.
AKA there's 0 good games. I think that's why they call it week 0.
Yeah.
We got a few that we're gonna touch on and talk about that are coming up this weekend.
Because realistically,
I might have two rants tonight, Chris.
Jim on sports. What's going on, Jim? How's it going?
How you doing? Jim was in the good old Kyle King's fantasy draft with me last night.
Hey, Jim, let's give a shout out to Jim. Jim, you have a stream, right? I believe you do.
He's a streamer.
Yeah, let's give a shout out reckoning to
Jim on sports. You know?
Yes. Welcome in, Jim. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Now you might know his team of choice, Scotty. Who's Jim's fandom? All right.
Actually, I do not know the answer to that.
Jim, where do you live and who's your team? We'd like to get to know you a little bit. Jim, there you go. There's the link right there. Go give him a follow. By the way, Twitch is having some API errors tonight. So I was testing it, trying to fix it before the stream started. So our alerts and some things might not work tonight, like the commands might not work tonight. I don't know. Let me test it. Hold on.
I'm gonna be furious. That's true.
I mean, some of the commands are working, but like the other one, the API error, I don't know. Hold on to your butts works. Okay.
Yeah, we can count on Andy to get some hold on to your butts in there. He reminds everyone that exists.
South Bend, Indiana is where you live, Jim. Originally from New York. Mets, Giants, Rangers, Knicks. Oh, it's weird that you don't have the Jets in there instead of the Giants.
More so. I know you're talking like pro franchises, but did you attend college in South Bend, or you just live in South Bend? Like, are you a Notre Dame fan?
No. Well, we might be talking some Notre Dame tonight. Twitch being broken. No shit, says Moon Princess. What's up, Andy? How we doing? Reckoning says cinnamon challenge. So there's a lot of challenges.
Everyone wants us to do challenges.
Well, on our Discord, people want me to do that hot gummy bear challenge, and I'm like, that's a big ass gummy bear, and that's a hot ass gummy bear. So who knows, man?
I mean, sounds like you gotta do it.
Maybe. All right. So we'll do maybe like a multi-stream. You know how, kind of like what you did for your beard. Maybe we'll do like over the course of 2 streams. If we get a certain number of subs, I will do the whole gummy bear. Oof, it's gonna be rough though.
Look at this, guys.
Oh, man, look at that beard.
You want me to get closer? Up close. See that?
We don't want you any closer than you need to be on that. We've.
That's a ferocious beard, Andy. All right? I don't want to hear it. Before we miss up in the earlier in the chat, Chairman said I killed Kyle King's draft last night. Thank you, thank you, Chairman, because I feel like I did as well. Oh my gosh, Chris, I messaged you and I'm like,
you crushed.
I don't even know how I fell into what I fell into, but wow. And I watched his stream this morning for draft grades. He gave me the highest grade.
Oh, no big deal. Let's go.
No big deal.
Representing Action Lab to the fullest. See, there you go. I love it, man. I love it. By the way, Jim, so you said you had, it was Mets, Giants, Rangers, Knicks. So actually, all New York, but the Mets are the only one. Usually it's Mets, Jets, Nets, Islanders. And then you have Giants, Rangers, Knicks, and...
I respect that he's not on the Yankees board.
Yankees, yeah.
Yeah, forget those Yankees.
No, it's cool. I was watching actually the Mets game. Now that we're getting down to the end of the season for the New York Mets, obviously, again, I love my Rockies, but they're not doing anything this year. So I was watching them
just this year.
I was watching. I was trying to be nice. They were playing the Dodgers tonight, and they had a nice start to the game, right? I mean, Lindor with a 2-run jack off Anderson there, by the way.
Somebody must have been betting on this game.
You know what? I haven't been betting really recently, and I've just had
you've been on a cold. You've been on a cold streak, is what you're telling me.
Let's just say I've been breaking even, and I've been. It's been a little bit slower.
Even. Yep,
I'm saving up for football season. What do you got?
Let's go football season. It's where we dominate. We're only Chris. We're a week away from our world famous picks of the week.
We are going to get there, and we will have a lot of fun with you guys on all of those picks. Let's go. Chairman of the board, you sound surprised.
Yeah.
Mets.
Football wife said my beard looks nice. Thank you, football wife. Appreciate it. I can't see a thing. Get out of here, Andy. It looks, there's more color than your gray beard. All right. Old man.
Good evening, humans and bots alike. How are we doing tonight? We are doing fantastic because we are here with you guys.
We're mostly bots, by the way.
Yeah. Rest of my family,
mostly bots follow us.
Rest of my family are soulless Yankee fans. I was a rebel. Yeah. I like it. Mets are my number 2 team behind the Rockies. That's the only out-of-state team that's kind of weird for me. Everything else is in Colorado here. Moon Princess.
Is it possible to be a Yankees fan and have a soul simultaneously?
I don't know.
Possible?
Anything's possible.
I'm not sure it is.
Well, Chairman said anything is possible.
He said after seeing Scotty's beard. That's right. Guys, I got two people at work are like, oh, what's going on here? And I'm like, I'm growing this for 2 more months. I have 2 months.
Yeah.
What did I get myself into?
Oh,
I went way too long on that.
I love it, man.
Way too long. Or did I do the end of September? I probably did the end of September, right? It was the end of September, Chris?
Yeah. No, it was end of October. It was you needed to have it for your Halloween costume, or as Cuban wanted to say, you need it for Christmas time and the Santa, get ready for Santa and everything. So,
Yep.
Moon Princess, Mets better than the Yankees every day of the week. I don't even like baseball, but I will die on that hill.
Yep.
Easy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if their franchise history is better, but I will certainly rather cheer for the Mets.
Yeah. No, it's the Mets
or Little Brothers.
They're a fun team to watch right now. I mean, like I said, I was watching that game. I mean, I don't know what the score update is on that Mets game. I think it's, let's see. Oh, Mets ended up they didn't finish that game already, did they? Damn, they finished that one already. DeGrom, 1 earned run, 7-inning pitch, 9K, 1 walk. That's dominance right there. Woo! I love it.
Chairman, how about actually the last 2 games? I don't know I think the Rockies may have lost tonight to the Braves, but the last 2 games they finished at New York, beat Scherzer, and then they go and beat Fried in Atlanta. We that should be our home stadium. The only place on the road the Rockies can win is randomly in Atlanta.
Yeah,
it's so bizarre. We're so bad everywhere else, and obviously Atlanta's very good, defending World Series champs, and somehow we go there and we're just the greatest team to ever grace the planet. Or Atlanta's just we don't even have to pay attention to this game and we'll win, and then they lose.
Yeah,
but I think it was another tight one tonight. But I think I read it right that the Rockies lost 3-2 tonight.
Scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th to lose 3-2, says Chairman. Let's see. The Yankees gave up an ace pitcher in exchange for an outfielder in a boot, says Reckoning.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees' second half has been a absolute dumpster fire. After a tremendous first half, you love to see it.
Yeah. So let's get some of these announcements out of the way. We have actually a couple announcements here, Scotty. Want to dive in here real quick. Let me get to Cubans first before I dive in. I'm just glad we have blown through this stage where it is thick but transparent grandma beard. Oh, so it's a grandma beard right now.
No, we've blown through the grandma beard stage, Chris.
Oh, got it. Okay.
How was your reading comprehension in school?
It was.
Were you good at it?
Incredible. It was incredible.
Do you feel like you were all right at it? Because
yeah,
would have scored pretty low right there. Thank you, Cuban. I'm glad too that we've gone through that stage, and now you guys can finally see it. And it's going to be apparent moving forward. Don't you guys worry.
DeGrom was the GOAT. Stole a home run from Justin Turner. Diaz came in.
Nemo did.
Yeah. The trumpets blared.
I call him Nemo.
Good night all around. LFGM. Let's go. Let's fucking go. All right, cool. So let's get into it real quick, and let's dive into some of the things that we have in store for you. So we should be, I am almost confident that we should be able to launch our new headquarters team store this coming Sunday. I've been building out the website. The website and the store will be live, I believe, by this Sunday. Getting some last minute tweaks out, but that is going to be a sweet spot where we're going to have all of our podcast stuff. We're going to have all sorts of cool content. We're building it for more content down the line. Scotty, we're going to be looking at, we've already been talking a lot about premium content that we might be offering in the future. So that will be a hub for where you can find anything and everything you need to socials, our store, our podcast, all that stuff. It's all going to be on there as well. Right now, it's all kind of scattered and it's all these different areas. We want to consolidate and put it all together for you guys to make it a one-stop shop. So that would be launching hopefully by Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. We'll announce it. We'll show it this Sunday. We'll make sure you guys know what the URLs are. We'll have it all here for you to check out. Scotty, it's going to be super cool.
Yeah, no, I love that you called it headquarters. That made it sound like we're also building like this giant, like, campus, like an IKEA style, like building where that is our headquarters.
Except there's only 2 people in that headquarters.
Correct.
You and
me. We don't welcome anyone else in. Chris says it's like talking to people in your living room, but we don't want to be in your. No, I'm just kidding. We love you all. I'm joking.
Maybe we should just do our stream from an IKEA living room setup.
Yeah.
And then, we'll just happy birthday, Cuban.
Turning 1 today.
Hey, happy birthday.
Wow.
Cuban turned 1 today. With 1 year. Subscribe to the channel.
And so much wit at 1 year old. Like, I have young children and they don't have the wit of Cuban. I'm going to be honest. I love my kids, but not as witty.
What's up, Belly? How we doing? Also, so along with that, let's say you miss a show, you come in late, or you have to leave early, or whatever it may be. Just make sure you go check out the VODs. We have all those. I posted all of our on YouTube, all of our over/under predictions that we had, from last show. So make sure you go check those out. Go give those a follow and comments, because that really helps boost all of those, especially our socials, our TikToks. All that. Let me put those in the chat here. There you go. So Twitter, Insta, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Go hit us up on all of them. We would really appreciate it. And it definitely helps us spread what we do here in the Action Lab. So go check those out. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's a few things you can do. 1, you can subscribe to the channel. You can do that either through a regular subscription, or you could do it for free, Scotty. You can do that just by linking your Twitch and your Amazon Prime all together. !Prime in the chat is how you can get instructions to do that. From there, you can subscribe to 1 channel a month for free. There you go, Chairman. Thank you for throwing that in there. So, if you haven't subscribed, or if you have Twitch and you have an Amazon Prime account, you obviously have Twitch because you're here. Link them together, and it's a freebie. It costs you nothing. All right, so another way you can support the channel, throw those bits out there. If you want to throw some bits and attach a comment, opinion, a question, attach it to some bits, and you will be able to hear it live on the show. All of us will. So let's go and let's get some of your comments out there. Guru, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, Guru.
Guru's he's
a little bit.
He's definitely one of our guys in the Altitude Sports Room. Thanks for popping in. Sub over watching the Colorado Rapids game, but they started losing 3-1. Another very disappointing performance. How they went from best in the West to worst, I don't know. I haven't even been following it really, but
I've been following them a little bit. And to be honest, last year felt a little smoke and mirrors. It didn't feel, even when they were winning, they were just so good defensively. They didn't score a lot. Every game was like a 1-goal game that they pulled out when they were really good last season. So I didn't know if that was repeatable just based off. And then it kind of showed up in the playoffs where they were, I believe they were 1 and done. Guru, right? They lost to Kansas City in their first game. I think they got like a bye or something being where they were at, but then they lost in their first playoff series to Kansas City last year. I think it was Kansas City. Could be wrong, but yeah, not a great performance. Yeah, they're not very good. Not very good right now. It was You're right. It was Portland. Portland then played Kansas City, I think, in the Western Finals. Anyway, there was an interesting question up above. Who was it? Jim on Sports. Would you rather be in a Costco or an IKEA, Chris? I think there's an easy answer.
I'm a Costco.
For me.
Well, I'm a Costco guy.
Wow, I knew that was going to be your answer too.
Yeah, I'm a Costco guy. I'm in Costco. My wife sends me to Costco like weekly. And I have,
don't even. You love going to. That's like the highlight of your week.
I mean, I do like going. Don't get me wrong. I do like hitting up all the deals, right? But and you get the samples too, and sometimes you'll find diamonds in the rough there. You'll like they because it's a surprise every time you go to Costco. You never know what merchandise or what products are being shipped or phased out, and then new ones phased in. Mm-hmm. Man, when they get the Negra Modelo out on, usually it's in the holiday times. Oh man, I'm all over that. I'm all over some of they got some sweet clothes deals too. They have some sweet stuff on clothes. It's a little disappointing when you get home and try it on, but it looks good in when you first.
Yeah. Andy knows all about it. Andy's like Costco all day, and I'm like, we know. Well, I knew that. That's his entire wardrobe is from Costco. I don't even know if he shops for other things at Costco outside of the clothing.
I could probably count on 2 fingers the amount of times I've been in an IKEA. That's it. I've never been to an IKEA.
You know what I don't like about IKEA? It's not like a large. It's literally this like path you have to follow through every room, and it's like this maze. It's not like this. Like video games now are open world, right? You go where you want, Chris.
Yep.
I am terrified in IKEA because I have to follow this certain path, and you can't go the wrong direction. Nope. You can't do it.
Nope.
And I don't know when it ends, Chris. I have to go through 337 rooms when I'm looking for a rug for our bathroom. Like a just something to lay on the ground, Chris. I got to go through 307 rooms to find it. I haven't been to IKEA. And then you have to put it together. I know, not a rug, but no, I haven't been to IKEA in forever. And I live, 5 minutes from an IKEA? And I want no part of it.
What's that?
He's like, I once saw Scott try to assemble an IKEA desk. It's not good.
You got to put it all together.
There's a lot of language involved.
See, Guru says they have maps and secret passages. What's that Jim Carrey movie where they're watching him all the time?
Truman Show.
I feel like it's its own little world in there where it's like a Truman Show, and people you got the cameras watching you, and it's they try to just get you to feel comfortable in these little spaces, and it's just I don't know. It's not my vibe. It's a little bit overwhelming for me.
And then it's not over when you leave, Chris, because then you have to go home and figure out how to put that together in Swedish.
Well,
is Swedish even a language? Do they have their own language?
And the insane parking garage is super intense too. You have to go around the cones to get into the parking garage, and they have traffic people doing the waving the flag thing. I'm like, this is too intense for me. I'll go hit up Costco where I could just get in, get out. I could get my gas. I could get everything taken care of. I'll be good to go. That's it. That's all I need.
Oh, no. You don't go to the gas station at Costco, do you?
Why not?
Do you go to the gas station in Costco?
I'll hit it up.
Okay. Just to be clear, because I have no idea, because I don't actually, this is going to sound bad. I don't pay attention to gas prices,
No,
Chris.
I know you don't.
How much do you save going to the Costco?
I saved 60 cents the last time I went.
Okay. Per gallon. How big is your tank?
My Jeep is a smaller Jeep, so it
took 15 gallons. What?
It cost me $40 to fill up from a little less than a quarter.
Okay. I was asking, do you not know how many gallons your tank is, Chris?
It's small. I don't know. I don't keep
let's
track
say
of that.
15 times 60. That's roughly, I don't know. You're saving about $8.50.
That's $8.50. $8.50.
But I literally see that line and I'm like, I don't care if it's free. I'm not waiting in that. I'm not waiting in that. The line is insane.
Scott doing
that math was pretty solid though, right? It was correct. 15-gallon tank saving 60 cents. That's roughly, I don't know, $8.50. But probably between $8 and $8.50. Don't tell me I'm wrong on that.
That's $8.50 I could go spend on a couple slices of pizza at Costco after I'm done spending $300, and it's a reward because I got all that food and I needed to be I need a $2 slice of pizza.
Everything's a reward. That's literally why they have the food.
Yeah.
One day, Chris, and I dream big sometimes, but I hope to enter a Costco, and I don't go anywhere but directly to the food area, and I screw over Costco one time, and I only get a slice of pizza or a dog or that little baked chicken Caesar roll thing or whatever, chicken bake they have, and I win, Chris. And not only that, I buy, a drink, and I fill that. I'm in there for hours, and I'm filling it up time and time again.
Fair enough. Hey, dude, you do you, man. I'll it's fine. Casually average. Costco for food. IKEA for ditching your assigned FBI agent. True. Yeah, you could do that. Let's see. Once I saw Scott try to assemble an IKEA desk. Food is better at Costco. Get a pallet of Doritos and khakis, says Cuban. Guru, you can't buy a TV at IKEA. Best price on the planet. Best gas. I love what Cuban said. Well, la-ti-da, Mr. I don't care about gas prices.
It's not that no, but I'm more a convenience guy. I'm not going to go out of my way to be like, I can save 20 cents at this place. I could have $0 in the bank and I'd be the same way. I would still be like, I'm not worried about, I'm like, gas is gas. I need gas. Here's a gas station. I'm stopping here. All right. Do you like go to 5 different grocery stores because each one has different cheaper items? Like some the eggs are cheaper, and some the fruit is cheaper, and some the meat is cheaper. So you go to 5 different stores for it?
Well, since considering I do all the shopping, all the little things that I don't need bulk of is a King Soopers run. Everything that I always buy in bulk, like chicken nuggets for the kids and all that stuff all goes Costco. Alcohol is Costco. I mean, all the big stuff that we, use more frequently that's how we split it up. Guru, have you placed a bet with each other yet for Broncos and Chiefs? Not yet. We'll probably do that maybe closer to...
They don't play... You're probably scared right now. They don't play... Both the games against Broncos Chiefs are like late in the season. I'd like to do it now because you're not going to do it later on. You're going to realize that you're in a world of hurt.
Well,
you're not
we could always manipulate how we make that bet. We could always figure out like odds and different things. So we'll figure it out. Costco hot dogs are the best, and you don't need to drink beer through them. That's true.
But can you? Can you? We didn't try it with Costco dog,
If
Chris.
you bite the dog short enough, you could do anything. Anything is possible. How long you been married, says B-Rock. I am going on... I just celebrated 5 years. Scotty?
And I am creeping up on like 7.5. I'm a little over 7.
Yeah, Scotty's been in the mix a little bit longer.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything is possible.
I think someone said earlier, like, how's my wife feel about the beard? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't think she hates it. She's pretty indifferent. But for 2 more months, she'll probably be upset. I did warn her though. I said I made a mistake.
And
I made a mistake on stream, guys. And it's because I love you all.
How did she respond to all this again? She was just like, I can't believe you're doing the shit you do.
No, she was like, that made a lot of sense. I was like, I got me this many subs. She's like, it got you that. She was surprised that people. And now we're starting to realize that maybe the only way we get subs, Chris, is by me making an ass of myself. And I feel like I do that every show, constantly.
Well, I'm trying to eat some spicy food, so maybe we could get a challenge where I do that.
Can we get the spice challenge for Chris?
Well, JK's asking, did you do the 1 chip challenge? And no, we didn't get enough subs last stream. We only got 5 out of the 10. So now, I mean, there was some bouncing around ideas of like a hot gummy bear that's like this big. That's like the hottest gummy bear out there. So I don't know, like if we're gonna do that gummy bear, that seems a little bit more intense. I mean, we would do like maybe 15 subs over 2 shows, maybe. I don't know if is that a realistic thing, Scotty?
15 subs over 2 shows?
Yeah.
And that's all you need for that?
should it be more? Did I just
That's a steal.
Is that a steal?
I mean, listen, you decide your own fate here, but for me to do it, it's got to start with a lot higher number. But I did say maybe it's best if only one of us does it. That way, the other person can at least speak on stream, so we're not just sitting there unable to talk because our mouths are so hot.
Yeah.
No. And I like really, really spicy stuff, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't react well when I can't feel my mouth, or I feel my mouth and it's in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. I don't react well. I'm kind of a baby in that fashion.
What's
see. What's up, everybody? What's up, G Girl? G Girl. I've been married 26 years, and you will go to different stores. That's fair. You probably know better than me.
I mean, that's what I do now, and I'm only 5 in.
But right now, like, Chris, I have a 1, 3, and 5-year-old. I don't have time to shop for the cheapest gas prices or shop.
Do you take your kids shopping to the grocery store?
Yes, like we went to Costco as a family just I don't know, this past weekend.
Must be nice. My wife doesn't go with me nowhere shopping.
I like going to Costco. I'd rather but when for whatever reason I like going to Costco with the kids. But like if I'm just going to a normal grocery store, I'd rather knock it out by myself.
Try some Hot One sauces. Their last dab is over 2 million Scoville. The bomb is hotter than that. It's not supposed to be, but yeah. G Girl, go give G Girl a follow. I shot the link there. Give her some love. Hope you had a great vacation, G Girl. She was out hanging out with the gals at the bar the other night.
Is the trip over?
Maybe
or is
not.
She just,
maybe not.
Maybe the best part of our vacation is tuning into us briefly, Chris.
That would be the highlight. I mean, that's a pretty sweet end to your vacation if that's what's.
It's a vacation every Sunday and Wednesday for people here, right?
yeah.
From real life, we just talk and make fools of ourselves and talk sports and keep it light until I get angry.
All right, so let's see what else. I think that's what. So all right, so yeah, support the channels. Twitch Prime subs. If you want to gift some bits, you could do bits and then attach a message to it, or you can just hang out with us in the channel and hit the follow button. That's the biggest thing. Like just chat with us here on the Action Lab. We're going to be diving in. Let's get to some college football right off the bat here. Actually, no. We're going to get to preseason cuts.
Yep.
Preseason cuts and 53-man rosters are in place coming up here. So we're all good to go. We are ready for the season. We are less than 7 days away. Let's dive in and jump into all of this updates when it comes to preseason news. And
real quick before he dives out, JK got to duck out. My wife is having surgery in the morning. 5 a.m. is going to come out quick. Get some rest. Thanks for hopping on briefly, and good luck. Don't know what that situation is, but good luck to your wife. Hope everything goes smoothly.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us briefly and joining one of our fantasy football leagues. We appreciate it. Have a good night. Get some rest.
Good vibes to for the surgery. Good luck with the surgery. Good vibes, and let us know how everything turns out, JK. So we can make sure you guys are all taken care of. But cool. So let's dive into some NFL action. There's not much going on in the NFL right now, Scotty. Everything's kind of locked in. There's nothing happening really right now. 53-man roster. Now there's just like weird stories that might be popping up. One of the stories that kind of happened, a little bit ago was the Jimmy G thing over in San Francisco. And in case you don't know, Jimmy Garoppolo is returning, and Kyle Shanahan is like shocked. He called it shocking that Jimmy Garoppolo returned, and they say it's a win-win for both parties. So this is kind of after months of speculation of whether or not they're going to shop him. There was potentially some trades out there with like the Cleveland Browns, but there's like landing spot there, maybe a couple other spots, maybe Seattle, maybe Carolina, way early on, and then then nothing really materialized. So then it's like, all right, well, what do? We go back to the drawing board. And sure enough, they announced Trey Lance is their guy. They're moving forward with him. So it's like, all right, well, rip Jimmy G. He's not coming back. He's gone. Nope. He is back for another year. So Scotty, what are your thoughts on this whole situation with the 49ers? How do you see this playing? I mean, obviously Jimmy G is only going to come in a backup role should Trey Lance.
Is that obvious?
I mean,
I know he's going to start as the backup. Chairman agrees it's a win-win. I don't think it's a win-win.
Ooh, you guys disagree with the mini-me?
I don't like this for Trey Lance's development. I think you need to if you're giving Trey Lance the keys, give him the keys. I don't know, and maybe Jimmy's like this, like there are some quarterbacks out there, not like a Ryan Tannehill for example, that like to help their young guys. So Chairman's like, I didn't say it was a win for Trey Lance, but the most important piece for San Francisco right now on their roster is Trey Lance. They've decided that Jimmy G wasn't enough. He got him to a Super Bowl. The next year he got hurt, and then he took him to an NFC Championship game. I wouldn't say he took him. The team went in both these scenarios. I don't know if he was he wasn't a leading factor in either of those runs. I think we'd all agree. Why, and that's why they addressed the quarterback position. I don't like having Jimmy G on the roster overlooking Trey Lance, where Trey Lance is going to feel like if I make a mistake, I could be pulled at some point. Like if I'm not playing well, I would rather him go in loose with a free mind, knowing this is my job. I'm going to make mistakes. This is a first-year starter. I went to North Dakota State. This is a high level that I've never played before. I know he made a couple starts when Jimmy G was hurt last year, but in general, he's never been at this level. Let the kid play. And maybe they will. But like, I don't know. I just don't love it. Like if Trey Lance is just craps the bed in his first 4 weeks and you go to Jimmy, what does that do long term for Trey Lance? If he's awful those first 4 weeks and you replace him, long term, where's his mental state at?
Well, Chairman says
you're ruining him.
If it bothers Trey Lance that much, he never would have gotten them there anyway, in my honest opinion. Maybe, but I think there's legitimate factor where, like, there's swagger in the game, and if you lose that swagger, sometimes it's hard to get back. Yeah. I mean, realistically, and it's kind of crazy considering the success that Shanahan has had with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Since Shanahan arrived in 2017, the Niners are 35-16 when Garoppolo starts. Pretty decent record, right? It's pretty decent. They're 8-28 with any other signal caller under center. So, you're taking a nice chance here on a guy that you think is going to be, the long-term solution here. But I mean, they had a lot of success with Jimmy G. So it's a fascinating move here. I think there's more distraction in this than anything else. Like there's going to be a lot of looking over the shoulder. There's going to be a lot of, if Trey Lance doesn't develop fast enough, or, if he makes mistakes a little too often, what that's going to look like. And you traded up to get Trey Lance, right? You gave up a nice chunk of assets to get to that point. So if he doesn't work out, I think you're right, Scotty. I think this is a weird situation to put Trey Lance in, and I don't love it. Let's see what we have in the chat here.
B-Rock, who is a Niners fan, is okay with it. Jimmy knows his role and Trey has keys to the car. I agree that they both agree that they know right now where they're at, but there's not a piece of Jimmy that isn't like, if Trey Lance struggles, they're going to put me in. And there's not a piece of Trey that's like, if I make mistakes, they're going to supplant me mid-season, even if I'm healthy, with Jimmy. And maybe that's fair. You could agree that that's fair to do. You invested so much draft capital in Trey Lance. And listen, I know Jimmy had good runs with him, but he's not that dude. Jimmy's not that guy. Right? Like, he's not. No one. I think most people would agree he's not. He's certainly not a top 10. I wouldn't rank him as a top 15 quarterback, probably, in the league. I don't remember where he was at in our quarterback rankings, but I think he was in the teens, but not 15. He was like 16, 17, somewhere in there, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. I just feel, and maybe they have a great relationship. I don't know what that relationship is like, but you just constantly have to look over your shoulder as a young kid who's going to make mistakes because you haven't played anywhere near this level. You didn't go to Alabama. You didn't go to Georgia, where you were playing against the best of the best, even in college. You went to North Dakota State, and your talent was 8 times better than the other teams. Not only yours, but the guys on your team. So it's an adjustment. But I think he has a good amount of talent. I think they're making the right decision to go to him.
Guru, I'm shocked because Jimmy started under Tom Brady. He learned from the GOAT. He's worth being a starter somewhere. He's better than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is, I would say...
I could see the argument, but I'd take Kirk.
Yeah.
But I'm a little higher on Kirk than most.
Are the Cardinals going to win, says Durandum. Welcome in, Durandum. Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals or the St. Louis Cardinals? I mean, who are you talking about? I mean, I'm assuming.
I would say no.
I would say. And it's, all right. Yeah, there you go. The answer is no.
The answer is no.
I mean.
Roger.
Oh, Major League Baseball.
Are they going to win tonight, or what? What are you talking about, Durandum? What do you mean by are they going to win? I mean, are you talking about tonight? They're in extra innings. It looks like against the Reds 2-2 right now. Sure, they can win tonight. They're playing the Reds. They should win.
Nope. The reason,
although we're like a single away right now, it looks like from the Reds taking it. So maybe not.
Let's see. Nope. Reason being, no one wanted Jimmy, and we didn't have a suitable backup, says B-Rock.
I think if Jimmy didn't have the surgery he did on his shoulder this offseason, he would have been moved. But with that, teams were hesitant, and the Niners were like, we're not getting enough value, so we're just gonna, if he'll agree to restructure, we'll keep him on. I don't know what this does this is a weird move. I'm surprised Jimmy did this.
Well, he took an $18 million pay cut. I mean,
yeah, otherwise, but to be fair, he wasn't going to get that money because he was going to get cut. If not for taking the pay cut, he was going to, the Niners would just release him and that money was not guaranteed. But could you not make similar money to that and do like maybe a 1-year prove it deal with another team? Or are you just that, like, are you not confident in yourself? I would want to sign Jimmy less if I were another team. Because like he was so afraid of being the guy that he took a pay cut to just stay as a backup. I want a dude that's like, hell no, I'll take nothing to start somewhere. I'm not going to take an $18 million pay cut to be the backup here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I don't love any part of it, Chris.
It's interesting for sure. So we had that. So let me see what else.
Milwaukee's Best makes a good point. Better porn stars in Cali. That's probably fair. But is it Northern Cali or Southern? Probably more Southern Cali.
Probably.
I would think.
Yeah, most likely.
There's a couple teams in LA that could use a backup probably.
Let's see. Maybe Jimmy sees Trey in practice and knows he has a good shot.
Maybe.
Possibly. He also has a no franchise tag clause, so he's an unrestricted free agent no matter what after this season. So, well, there's going to be a market for him at some point, and it's just weird that market wasn't this year with teams looking for quarterbacks. And I think, when we were going into the draft, talking about this a while back when we were doing draft prep, it was interesting because, I mentioned it too through my draft prep. I was like, there's not a lot of teams that are desperate for a quarterback. There's guys that can, get through with what they got for one season and get to the next draft or, get to a free agency next year, whatever. So there wasn't going to be a big quarterback market. That's why everyone made a push for quarterbacks in the previous draft with Trey Lance and everybody else going on in that draft. Everyone was trading up and being aggressive for quarterbacks during that, not this past year's draft, but the draft before that, knowing this was going to be a dead zone draft. And so that impacts, that impact was ripple effect throughout the entire league because teams didn't have to desperately look for a quarterback. You have the Atlanta Falcons. They're happy with what they have. They'll hold over. You have, the Panthers, the Seahawks. They'll hold over. They're fine, right? So, they're going to lose games, but they're whatever. So that's just kind of the landscape of how, we were expecting this to be going into this season. So Interesting. And you're seeing, Jimmy G pay the price for some of that, right? Cuban Betty May, Igor Scotty, if not for the shoulder, he would have been traded. Fantasy draft review: Russ, Henry, Barkley, Dobbins, Edmonds, Mostert.
Still wrong, Chris. Still
Adams,
wrong.
Brown, Pittman, Judy, D Hop, and Jarvis Landry. Let's see. Running backs. You have plenty of running backs you have plenty of options there, plenty of depth. Adams, Brown, Pittman, Judy. I think you sacrificed a little bit at quarterback, maybe, but he's still a top 12 quarterback. That's a decent depth of a roster right there.
Is that how many team league, just for reference, but a lot of people think Russ is going to cook and could be a lot higher. I have him closer to, he's certainly top 12. That's 12 team. It's a nice PPR. That's a nice roster. Henry and Barkley, if Henry can be who he has been, that's going to be great. And Barkley, I like a lot. And Dobbins and Edmonds is third and fourth is amazing. With you got two Dolphins there with Mostert. That's how you say it, Chris. Adams, I love Pittman actually more than Brown. I like Pittman more than Brown. I don't love Judy, but you got D Hop coming in after 6 weeks. No, that's a nice roster. I like it. Had to choose between Russ and Dak. I would have leaned Dak, but I mean, it's not an easy decision. I could see either way.
Mostert.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. I'm not going to mess it up from here on out. Watch the next time I say it. I'm going to mess it up.
You 100%.
All right, let's dive into some of the notable cuts. Now, we had teams break down to 53-man rosters here. So we are all set to go. There were some notable cuts across the league. I'll name off a few here that kind of stood out. Some bigger names. OJ Howard of the Buffalo Bills was cut despite, handing in more than $3 million in guarantees. He's still only 27, comes in with first-round pedigree, but he was beaten out by Quentin Morris and Tommy Sweeney for the backup job. Starting tight end Dawson Knox. So a lot of bodies there. Michael Schofield in Chicago, offensive lineman, was cut. There was Josh Johnson for my Denver Broncos. Not a big cut, but just an interesting one because he's searching for his 150th team in his 6th league. So good luck to him. Marlon Mack, Houston running back, gets cut. Philip Lindsay, who was in Houston, now in Indianapolis, gets cut. He's a local boy here from Colorado, and he had trouble catching on with some teams, Scotty. Lindsay had a shot to stick at Indy's 3rd running back behind Taylor and Hines, but Colts will go with youth instead. Lindsay, by the way, he's 28. 28. Why did I feel like he was still younger? But who knows? 88 attempts for the Texans and Dolphins in 2021. So, yeah. So he was kind of, a little bit slowing down when it came to the production, just from, what teams have been seeing. Another funny one that always cracks me up with the Raiders, man. Alex Leatherwood. Not only did the Raiders waive him, he's the 17th overall pick in 2021. They reached on Leatherwood. They reached on him. They traded quarterback Trayvon Mullen to the Cardinals as well. But it's safe to say Vegas decision makers Josh McDaniels and Ziegler aren't going to be shy about moving on from Mayock and John Gruden selections. Remember when we were talking about the running back situation there?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
I'll break down. Literally, Mayock's first year there was 2019. They trade Khalil Mack. They have 3 first-round picks right off the jump. Number 4 overall, they take Cleveland Farrell, which was a shock at the moment and a terrible pick at the time and a terrible pick now.
Bruh.
I don't think he got the 5th-year guarantee, if I'm not mistaken. They take Josh Jacobs, the running back, at 24. He didn't get a 5th-year guarantee extension. And Jonathan Abram at 27, the safety. He has been a letdown. He didn't get a 5th-year guarantee. And then in the 2nd round, they went and got Trayvon Mullen, who they just traded for like a 7th-round pick, basically, a couple years later. So flash forward to 2020, 1st-round pick, Henry Ruggs. Don't need to tell people what's going on with Henry Ruggs right now. Maybe that one was a little out of their control, but at the same time, hasn't worked out. Damon Arnett, another first rounder. They had 2 first rounders in 2020. Damon Arnett's out of the league. He was at 19th overall the corner, and he's been like arrested multiple times. He's crazy out of his mind, and even when he was on the field, he wasn't good. Their 3rd round pick that year, Lynn Bowden Jr., the wide receiver out of Kentucky, they traded before he even played for them. They saw him in the camp and were like, no. I don't even know if they traded him or they just cut him. He's on the Dolphins now, not making a difference. And now you have 2021's Alex Leatherwood, their number 1 pick, already cut. They're paying him $8 million to not be anywhere near them, Chris. Alex Leatherwood is getting $8 million this year to be home, away from them. That's how bad he must have been. And he did get claimed off waivers, I think by Chicago. But
Chicago got rid of Schofield.
I mean, think about the Raiders right now. Raiders are a pretty decent team, right? Made the playoffs last year. Things to be excited about. You got Devontae Adams, all that. What if they weren't a dumpster fire of a drafting team? What if they were just league average? They would be close to one of the best teams in the league, Chris.
Probably.
If they could actually get contributors in the draft. Now, they did. I left out. They did get Max Crosby in the 4th round of 2019. So, obviously, Max Crosby was a steal based off of what he's been doing. So, they have got, pieces.
It's
but
the first round that they are...
so much capital
it's the
in
first
and they've had 6 picks in the first round in 3 consecutive years under Mayock. And none of those players are either gonna get extended for their 5th year or on the roster anymore. 3 of them aren't on the roster. 3 of them probably their last year on the roster.
It's great every year. I just love when the Raiders have high draft picks because I just know I never need to worry about them taking our guys. I never need to worry about it. They are always reaching on guys that
I think the Broncos might have taken Henry Ruggs over Jerry Jeudy. But maybe, I mean, and if Henry Ruggs is in Denver, maybe the situation's all different.
Well, that's what
right?
I was just about to say. If Henry Ruggs is in Denver, I don't know if he's in the same scenario of Las Vegas and parties.
Quite frankly, I would rather have Henry Ruggs if he doesn't have that epic failure of a night than Jerry Jeudy on the field. But
I mean, he's definitely a more explosive player for sure. Let's see. Jacobs is a nice running back. Milwaukee's best.
He was a nice running back for a year or 2. And now I don't even know if he's going to get a significant amount of touches. Speaking of touches, I would not touch that man in a draft or a fantasy draft.
I told you that
Jacobs
before.
was a no draft zone for me. No running back on the Raiders should be a draft pick because as I said, I think on another stream, they should throw the ball every down. They're not a good running team right now. Well, they weren't last year.
McDaniels is not known for it either. McDaniels.
Well, I mean, they had a good running game in New England. I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, they didn't.
But your weapons are... Your offensive line is better at pass blocking than run blocking. You have Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller, with Derek Carr. That's your strength. That's your strength. I'm not saying never run the ball. I mean, I am, but I'm joking, obviously. But they should throw the ball. They should be, if they're not one of the top 5 teams in pass percentage in the league, they've made a tremendous mistake.
Diacola says, is Malik Reed a loss for Denver? Denver made a trade. Obviously, Denver doesn't think it's a big loss, the fact that they're moving on. But, I mean, I think I don't think it moves the needle too much one way or another. So
Agreed.
I think it's
you're not trading someone that's moving the needle at this point.
Yeah. We're probably staying the same as we would have if we could have kept him. So in that case, it's not a big deal. Lynn Bowden was traded to Miami. Miami just cut him.
Oh, Miami did cut him? Yeah, so many bad picks. And Lynn Bowden was wasn't he the quarterback his senior year at Kentucky or whatever year before he got drafted? They lost their quarterback and he just played quarterback. It was super bizarre. And then the Raiders drafted him and literally traded him I think they traded him before the regular season of the year they drafted him. I don't think he played a single snap for the Raiders.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think Jacobs is going to get phased out realistically. So, it's just a matter of time. Let's see.
They don't have other elite running backs on the squad though. Like, I don't know what the Raiders are doing at the running back position, but I don't trust Jacobs. And Jacobs was very good his first couple years in the league, and now for whatever reason he's just dropped off the map.
Also around the league, we had a couple other moves. Sony Michel, running back, kind of a bigger name that you're used to seeing, most recently, notable in the Los Angeles Rams, but he is cut by the Miami Dolphins. You had Justin Bethel cut by the New England Patriots. What else do we have here? Tyler Johnson for the Buccaneers, wide receiver for the Bucks. Brett Kern for the Titans, a punter for the Titans.
Sam Martin for the Broncos.
Yep, Sam Martin, but he wouldn't take a pay cut, which is interesting. So obviously they were trying to push him, and he was like, "Nope, I'm not taking the less money. You're gonna have to cut me." And they were like, "Bye, Felicia. See ya. Don't let the door hit you."
Milwaukee's. Unfortunately, we didn't cut Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is the only offensive player Milwaukee's didn't draft in our fantasy draft. I think he's the only one. Cuban Benny Sam Martin did get signed by the Bills, as Moon Princess put in our Discord today.
Yep.
She's like, "Chris, how is she?" Or how is he? I'm sorry. And I basically replied saying, his leg's kind of shot because he's been punting.
He got a lot of practice last year
in Denver the last few years.
He had enough reps last season to hone in and sharpen his craft.
I think that leg's got nothing. He's got dead leg, Chris. There's nothing left in that leg. Nothing left after how many times he had to punt in Denver.
Yeah. Brett Kern cut. Yeah, I already said that. Reckoning. So Brett Kern, punter, done. What else? Any other notable ones that you came across? Cleveland Browns cut Blake Hance, offensive lineman. Carlos Watkins, defensive tackle for the Cowboys, was a notable one there. They also cut backup quarterback Cooper Rush in Dallas. So he is gone. They expect to have him re-sign this week. That's another caveat that some players have the option of doing, is re-signing back. So you might see some of that.
Teams do. If you've been in the league long enough, you no longer qualify if you get released for waivers, where another team can pick you up. So a lot of teams, what they do, if they have someone that they want to keep on the 53, but then move to maybe an IR position and then put the other person back, they will simply make an agreement with that player, we're gonna take you off the roster, but we're gonna bring you right back on. Obviously that requires trust between both the player and the team, because the player, if they get cut, can theoretically go wherever they want in that time frame, and the team could theoretically be like, just kidding, we're not signing you back. That doesn't happen. If you did that, especially as a team, you would never, you could never do that again. You could never pull that move because no one would trust you. So I don't know. Other notable cuts, Chris, my hot take is there are no notable cuts.
No, that's what I was thinking. There wasn't any major,
No, never. There's never been a season where there's notable cuts, Chris. Every team keeps the top 53 guys, and every fan base freaks the fuck out when they get down to cut day and they lose this guy that they do. We're he was so good at preseason. For the Chiefs, it's this guy, Jarice Fountain. Okay, wide receiver. And he had a great preseason last year. He, played some games for the Chiefs last year, but not really as wide receiver. He's more special teams guy. And then he had a good preseason again this year, and then we cut him. By the way, he's back on our practice squad because no one picked him up, so it wasn't a mistake. And everyone's just freaking out in Kansas City, no, why would we cut this guy? He's so good. He's been with the Chiefs for 4 years, and he's got 4 targets, Chris. 4 targets in 4 years.
Bruh.
What are we doing? Why are we so worried about it? Anyone who gets cut, if anyone's not good enough to make your top 53, it's no time to freak out. It's no time to freak out. Okay,
he's gonna be around.
not gonna be a do or die player for your squad.
He's gonna
and
be
quite
around.
frankly, 98% of players that get cut are either done or they get to join the practice squad for the team they were in camp with. Because unless you're picked up by another team, and there's some, but not a lot, Chris, not a lot. It's just so overblown. Like, it's a tough day I get for these players. I understand that mentality, but fan base is freaking out, being like, how could you get rid of this guy? He's not good enough to be one of our top 53 players. Why are you freaking out? What do you rank him as? The 51st best player on our team? Does that win you a Super Bowl? The 51st best player on your team? Your number 7 wide receiver? Is that who you're worried about right now? It's bizarre, but I think in general, fans are just excited to get ready for the season, and they want to be involved, and they're like, oh, I could be a better GM. And Mike Mayock has proven to everyone in the world that people on TV or whatever can't be better GMs, Chris. And I'm going to get into later why players almost exclusively should never be GMs, because they're awful at it.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's people freak out over like guys that don't. It's like pump the brakes a little bit. Like you're fine. We have a first time chatter, Scotty. Let's see.
Oh, is that Tatash?
Tatash, welcome in. Where's your team and where are you from? We'd like to get to know you a little bit. Little what is this NBA question here? Pacers drafting. Who?
Well, I'm confused by that question. Pacers drafting Finn, Garen Diaz, and I don't think it's the Pacers we're thinking of, Chris, because there's no third round in the NBA draft. I feel like that's a different team in a different league.
Well, yeah, welcome to Tosh, but yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, I pulled up the roster and I'm like, that's definitely not the NBA. I mean, I think of the NBA, but I'm guessing it's probably some and rec. Maybe with some like soccer leagues around there. Maybe that's what we're looking at here, but maybe I don't know. Let's see, what else do we have here?
Cuban. Every team has a Bull. Yeah, I was kind of that person for Bull. I love Bull in the Nuggets. And then they traded him. I'm like, no, he has so much potential. And now
there's always a guy that's like a fan favorite that you like get attached to from an emotional standpoint, and you tunnel vision an emotional standpoint without realizing what they really are from a talent perspective. You're like, I really like that guy. I think
that's like you and Russell Wilson right now, Chris.
Or it's like Marie and Drew Lock. Sure. That's a great one, right? Big shout out to Marie. Love you, Marie. Let's see. Slap Scotty. Isn't this your rant of the week?
This isn't your rant of the week. No, I got another one coming. I got them locked and loaded tonight. Wednesdays, I like to go off a little.
I don't watch soccer. That's Helv's thing. All right, well, get Helv in here. What are we doing?
E-Rock, what is your take on no Thursday night football without paying for Amazon? What's your take on that, Chris?
I mean, Amazon could do whatever they want, right? I mean, people are gonna want to watch.
Sure, but the league agreeing to giving it to Amazon where you need that subscription.
I mean, that's where we're headed for everything, isn't it? I mean, with all of this, you have to pay to subscribe to these different streaming services to access your favorite shows, your favorite sports, your favorite. I mean, I gotta pay if I want to watch my Ted Lasso. I gotta pay, the premium for Apple TV, even though that's like the only show I watch on Apple TV. Which I need to expand my shows. I think there's some better shows out there, but you know what I'm saying. So I think it's just the way the world is trending. I don't think there's a way around it at this point. So I would just say that just think of that as the norm. Like that's just the way it's going to be. B-Rock,
I'll ask the question. Do you have an Amazon membership? And if you don't, because earlier on in the chat you said I've been married 27 years, you gotta go to multiple grocery stores. Maybe if you had an Amazon Prime membership, you could dodge some of those stores you have to go to and just have them delivered to you and get the Thursday night football game. Maybe have it anyway. I don't know. To me, I don't know. I feel like I would love to know the percentage of people in the US that have like at households, what percentage of households have Amazon Prime? I think it's got to be really, really high. Because quite frankly, I think it's worth it without the football game and without Amazon, the Prime TV, whatever. It's just worth it. So for me, I don't have a huge problem with it. Now I get it. Like Chairman puts out here, like worried that like you have to subscribe to 10 different services eventually if you want to see all the games. That's a legit concern, and we'll see where it heads and what that means.
It's not great.
I don't love that either, and that's kind of where it's already headed with like everyone was sick of cable and they're like, oh, we'll just take these one-offs, and now there's 20 different one-offs that you have to get.
And it's a battle. Like there's competition for all of these services and all these shows and all these sports and everything. So that's just the way. Maybe this is a Why It Matters segment coming up. Well, maybe we'll do that. I'll dive into that a little bit.
Cuban makes a good point that I didn't even think about. That is like now bars have to have the ability to stream the Amazon Prime games.
Yep.
And I don't know what that looks like or what the cost is there for bars. I'm sure they're going to do it, especially sports bars. They're going to do it. But
I think the bars are going to go with that NFL Sunday Ticket wherever that lands, because they're still trying to figure that deal out.
But Sunday Ticket still won't get you the Thursday night game.
It won't. No. So that's an extra cost. You're right. But that'll get you most of the other stuff. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one that I didn't really think about. Is that's going to change things for bars, or they have to then pony up for that? But I'm not worried about what bars are paying.
Hey, B-Rock.
Myself.
She has a Prime account, and I'm cool with it. But even local teams playing, you have to pay. What the good news on that? You can link your Twitch and Amazon Prime. Twitch Prime sub. Let's go. Let's hook it up. Prime it up. At least you can do that. There you go. Let's see. Reckoning. This game has been wild. So it sounds like still going.
This epic Cardinals and Reds baseball game is the wildest game we've ever seen at 2-2 in the end of 11.
Cuban Benny. La-di-da, Mr. I don't care about bars.
I want bars to stay open. I'll start caring again more when I don't have 3 young children where I can go more often to bars. Then I'll care a lot.
Let's see. So what are we at? End of the 11th. So still going. Yeah, sure. I think the Cardinals will win. There you go, Durandum. I think the Cardinals.
Durandum's like, this game has been wild, and Reckoning's like, nobody wants to win this damn game.
It would be just fitting for the Reds to get 12 hits over the course of 11 innings and just like fail at the end. I don't know. It's just par for the course, I feel. So, all right. So let's transition. Haven't been chatting very much, but I'm going to head to bed. See you guys on Sunday. Moon Princess, thank you for popping through. Thank you for being a supporter of the channel.
We are 8 days away.
7
plus.
7
days,
less than 17 hours, 27 minutes, and 8 seconds to be exact. Your
Buffalo Bills.
Let's go.
Gonna be playing a real football game with all the starters.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait, Chris.
It's going to be fantastic,
man. We're like a week away.
Probably won't be able to watch the whole game, but hell yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe just take like a nap all day in order to watch the whole game.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I don't know. I don't know if you can do that, but I'd recommend it.
Chairman, bars will be fine. They'll just plug in the Fire Stick and go.
Maybe they're able to do that. Obviously, most Amazon subscriptions, you're probably only going to be able to stream like 3 different accounts at once. So you'd have to have like however many Amazon Prime, but that would be worth it. That's not a huge cost. I don't know how that's going to work. It's not my concern.
Breaking news. We got breaking news in the chat.
Breaking news.
Coach Reckoning will be making his coaching debut tomorrow, assisting wide receivers for my school. Nice, Rex. I love it, buddy.
Congrats.
Are you going to be, doing the wide receiver drills and all? I mean, you're running the entire show. You're calling the shots with these wide receiver core.
How many routes in your team's tree are you showing the wide receivers? Are you more basic? You gonna give them all the route tree? What are we looking at, Rec?
Yeah, let us know. B-Rock, all right, guys, I got to run. My med school daughter and I are going to chill for a bit. Hey, big ups to your daughter from med school. Good luck on that. That's awesome. And then, yeah, just we're going to be covering some college football. So if you feel like just lurking around in the background, feel free. That's to anybody who wants to just like, kind of take a little break from the stream or whatever. We'll still be here talking some college football. It's a shorter stream tonight. We're not going to make it to our normal 3 hours probably, but we're saving up all our energy for next week. It's going to be big. Sunday and Wednesday are massive shows. We're getting our predictions in on Sunday for all the playoffs, for the Super Bowl, all the predictions. And then Wednesday, we're kicking off our normal. If you guys haven't been here for our Wednesday shows, we preview our top 8 games of the week. We do betting lines. We do our picks of the week. We break down the matchups top to bottom. And we're going to be streaming live on Thursday night. Are we going live, Scotty, when the game starts? Or are we doing our 7:30 start normally? What are we doing?
I don't know long term, but for week 1, that Thursday opener next week,
We go start, right?
we're starting when the game starts.
All right.
If not a little before.
There you
for
go.
sure.
All right, let's do it. So, guys, make sure you guys are hitting the follow button if you have not already. Again, if you're new to the channel, my name is Chris. This is Scott Weir, your host for the Action Lab, your premier sports entertainment talk show. It's like watching sports in your living room and talking with your friends, except everyone's all over the world instead, right? So make sure you guys hit that follow button so you know and get those notifications when we go live each and every stream. Let's dive into some college football here. College football, we know we're not going to get a lot of talk in after this first week. Week 1 is kind of this is our chance to talk about some of the fun matchups and some of the projections for some of the bigger teams. But we want to give it some love. This is going to be a fun week. This is college football's time to shine, because after this, you're splitting Saturdays and Sundays. It's going to be a big weekend from here on out, and people are going to be just all about football. We want to make sure you guys know what everything you need to know for this first week. So we're breaking out a few of the matchups that we think are notable, and we're going to make sure that you guys have the information you need. Ohio State to cover, says Milwaukee. Ooh, we'll get to that game here shortly. Don't you worry. Let's see. Bench is officially empty. Donnie walk, 2 on, no out. Nice. So keep us up to date on that Cardinals game. But first off here, we want to break down Cincinnati at Arkansas. All right, now Arkansas is 6.5-point favorites at home. The over/under is 52.5, and then the money line we got here. So Arkansas is favored to win this one by a pretty decent margin here. But Scotty, you wanted to talk about this one here. By the way, can I just say one thing?
Say it.
This week
Say 2 things if you want.
This week 1 is fascinating because, like, I don't know why I'm so much more hyped for this. Maybe because we are coming off the COVID year last year, right? So COVID hit. We didn't have college football. We didn't have all sports in general, right? But then I don't know if you remember, we talked about this last year about like everybody coming back to the stadiums, and then you had like the Virginia Tech, the Metallica Enter Sandman. Everyone's going nuts, and the whole crowd is like vibrating and just absolutely going nuts. And you have these scenes all over college football. That's what I'm looking. If you're asking me what I'm looking forward to most in college football, it's those hype moments of being gone for so long and coming back, and the students are ready to go. They're fired up. You got just stadiums packed like a sardine can. And they have their traditions. They have all the things they do on that first opening week. That's what I'm excited about. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's going to be fun.
I've never seen a sardine can. Is it packed? And if it is, why? Why are there sardine cans in general?
I mean, they're just...
I asked the important questions.
You asked the important questions. I mean,
anyway.
You could say tuna can. You could say
also
a refried bean can. Those are... I mean, any cans.
You're naming really bad cans, Chris.
Can of corn.
It's corn. corn for anyone on TikTok.
Oh my gosh, the corn. Oh my gosh. I'm going to bring that up though. And the Virginia Tech thing, because nothing hypes. We'll do that before we wrap up this segment, because that is one of the coolest. I mean, there's a lot of them. That one gives me chills to this day. We'll touch on that here in a little bit.
Yeah. As for this game, this is I think we're going to preview like 5 games, Chris. Week 1. This one's interesting. Obviously, Cincinnati had a phenomenal year, went undefeated 13-0 in their regular season before making the playoff in the Final Four. I think they were the first team to do so outside of the Power 5 conference, before bowing out to Alabama. I think it was like 27-6. So did they belong in that game? You could argue. Anyway, headed to this one, I think the big name here is Arkansas's quarterback KJ Jefferson back. I think the Arkansas's defense was their strength last year, but you have KJ Jefferson. It's a lot of running game with Arkansas. He likes to run it. It's an RPO attack, where it's a run pass option look. And they're at home favored by 6.5. You have an Arkansas team that lost, obviously, Desmond Ridder, who was drafted by the Falcons in the draft this year, and I thought looked phenomenal in preseason, way better than I actually expected. So you got a new quarterback at the helm. You have Sauce Gardner, who was a top 10 pick at corner in the draft. So yes, you had a really good team in Cincinnati last year, but you have a lot of pieces gone from that squad, and that's why you find yourself a 6.5 point dog in an Arkansas team. But Arkansas did win, what did they win, like 9 games last year, so they're much improved. They're on the way up. I think Arkansas is going to be a little too big, a little too tough, a little more experienced than going on the road as a new starter to Arkansas is tough for any quarterback. I don't care who you are. And we saw what happened when Cincinnati played an SEC team in the playoff last year. They lost by 3 touchdowns. And they were undefeated in a much better team last year. So I expect Arkansas to win and actually cover this.
Cincy's 13-1 record was the best finish in the program history. Arkansas finished 9-4, drastic improvement from his 3-7 mark in 2020. So, I think that Arkansas is definitely going to be a more formidable opponent than they usually are. For sure. Again, you mentioned Desmond Ridder moving on, but they lost 6 starters on defense. I mean, overall, it's just like that's a lot to replace with some young talent. So, biggest question is if Coach Luke Fickell can help keep them nationally relevant. I mean, I think they can stay relevant, but I don't know, man. Like, I think that, upsetting Arkansas on the road would be a good start to this, realistically, if I'm,
It'd be a phenomenal start. It would be probably the start of his last year at Cincinnati because he'd get a bigger gig. Yeah. Because that's just the way the world works in college football, right? You coach well, and then you just coach until you can get a bigger gig. And Cincinnati's not the peak of Luke Fickell's career in my mind.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like Arkansas as well. It's at home. There's a lot to like about Arkansas in this one. I know Football Waves like go Bearcats. He's all about her Bearcats, right? But I think this is going to be a nice uphill battle for them. And you might get some value betting on the money line here. Just maybe they eke out a close game, but I don't know if I would touch that. I would lean Arkansas in this one. But it's going to be a good matchup, though. Number 23 against number 19. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Right in the middle of the day. 0-16.
It's only one of 3 matchups this weekend, I believe, that have 2 top 25 teams.
I believe so, yep.
I think there's 3 matchups. This is one of 3. Probably the least marquee of the 3. The other 2 have some bigger names in it, but this one might be the closest of the 3.
Milwaukee says jump around for Wisconsin. I'll pull that up too. Don't worry. Well, that's a fun one too. And then also take the over in this game. The over 52.5. I mean, I've seen some projections around like 38-28, somewhere around there. Kind of Arkansas 38, Cincinnati 28. Kind of, I can see it going over. I can see it. Need 3 outs. There you go. All right, keep us updated. Let us know.
I just want that game to end. like Rec does.
Oh, another massive matchup on the docket here. Our Colorado State Rammies.
What? The single biggest matchup of the weekend. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. We have... This game will not end. Colorado State at Michigan. And I have a huge upset alert on this one, Scotty.
As you can see, I built these graphics out, placing marquee players on each team in the graphic. I put Cam the Ram for the Rams. Always loved him. Noah, former Cam the Ram, who's now working at the Rockies, used to be Dinger. Not anymore, but used to be Dinger for the Rockies, a full-time employee there. So a lot of love for Cam the Ram. Colorado State is going to blow everyone's mind this weekend, Chris, when they go up to the big house to Michigan, a 30.5-point dog. New coach Jay Norvell coming over from Nevada. He's gonna. What I am excited about is he does like an air raid offense. He's very much a spread it out, throw the ball. I don't think they have the pieces yet, although I think he added some pieces in the transfer portal that are nice. But I'm excited to watch as a Rams, alum. I'm excited to watch this new team and what they're going to do offensively. Hopefully, it'll be a little more exciting. Dreadful to watch recently. Are they going to go to the big house and beat Michigan? Of course not. Of course not. But what if they did? Ooh. What if they did, Chris?
Oh my goodness, would that be the biggest win in Colorado State history?
I guess that depends on what they do with it afterwards. Like if that turns into a season that's incredible, yes,
it would be one of the biggest upsets for sure.
If it turns into just like they're all of a sudden then they turn to shit, it's kind of like who cares then? Who cares that you won that game?
I mean, it's a bigger deal for Michigan than it is for anything like
that would be the best win probably that CSU's ever had. I mean, Michigan's ranked what? What's Michigan at? 8?
Yeah,
8. Okay. Yeah, on the road against number 8. 30.5-point dog. Probably the best one they've ever had. Yeah.
You know a team that's not getting a lot of love that's not in our rankings or our previews here tonight is keep an eye out for Air Force. Air Force returning a lot of guys. They're competitive. I feel like they're going to have a decent year. I've been hearing some buzz around Air Force. Those guys down in Colorado Springs putting in some work, and they got a nice cohesive team. Don't be surprised if they have a nice season this year. Just throwing that out there. Speaking of Colorado teams, but
this is why people watch, to get the inside info on Colorado State and Air Force.
That's right, exactly. It's a trap.
You're welcome, everybody.
Michigan State, by the way, defeated Ohio State for the first time since 2011 last year. Got a playoff berth and then fell flat against Georgia. So they're going to be loaded, right? They returned 9 starters on offense, including quarterback Cade McNamara and star running back Blake Corum. So they're going to have a lot of talent that I just don't think Colorado State can keep up with. But that being said, I just hope
Ohio State has not beat Michigan in over 1,000 days, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Over 1,000 days.
Over under, you get plus 1,800 money line for CSU. And then minus 7,000. You're not getting.
I almost feel like I read that wrong. You should get paid out better on CSU than
that. Michigan's. I think. You know what? Let's see. No, I don't think they cover the 30. I don't know if they cover the 30.5. I hope they keep it close.
Colorado State.
Yeah. I hope they keep it close. But
yeah, I mean, I could easily see them being down
it's in Michigan
10 at half and feeling really good about themselves, and then just losing by 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch though. It's on national TV. Everyone tune in. It's on. I think it's on ABC, Chris. It is on ABC.
I'll watch it. I'll be watching it.
10 a.m. locally, noon Eastern.
Altitude's covering the Air Force football. There you go. I don't have altitude, but I wish it did. So
How do you get altitude, Chris?
No, there's no shot of how you get altitude. How do we feel about UNC? Greeley. Greeley's gonna crush. They're gonna be great. Is McCaffrey still the coach there? That's my alma mater, by the way. That's where I went to school for my grad school. So I hope they do.
I was like, what?
Yeah, no, that's where I went.
Wait a minute. I am learning
what
today that you went to grad school. Is that true?
Yeah, I got a master's, bro.
In what?
Administration.
What?
It was an emphasis in sports management. So business administration.
Is that even a real master's?
It's a master's for sure. Yep.
Did UNC make up a master's to trick you?
Business master's, but yes. Yeah. No, I
so you have an MBA?
No, it's just a regular, you know.
I'm very confused, but I've learned something.
It's a Master of Science in...
I thought it was a Master's of Business.
Well, it's weird. They do it weird up there. I don't know. Sports management is a degree. That's why I am majoring in, says Reckoning.
I understand that, and I would recommend you change your major. I work in sports, and I'm telling you, change it. Change it.
I went to study sports, and I changed it. So... Reckoning. I don't want to ruin
masters in it.
I don't want to ruin your dreams though. I don't want to ruin your dreams.
Yeah, I mean, just
hey, have fun with it, man. Have fun. I'm a senior. I can't change it. Yeah, don't change it.
Just don't get married.
Yeah. Don't get you could be a successful
don't get married and have a weird schedule where maybe that your wife doesn't love that when you have 3 kids.
I love sports.
I don't know who this is all figurative right now.
This is just based off of the fact that you found out that I just got a master's degree.
I still don't believe you.
I have the diploma. I have the I have the document.
Yeah, but anybody can make that.
It's true.
I can make that in about 5 seconds if you want.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not know you had a master's.
I do. Diacola, he does. I promise. She helped fund it. Don't worry.
Got it. How did I not know that, Chris? How did I not know that?
I don't know. I thought you did. That's weird.
No.
There you go. Now I just jumped in and just said, screw it. Let's just keep going. And I did. MBA, major beer alcohol. Yeah, no, that's part of it.
Then I should have a enormous MBA.
You should,
which I don't have.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd be top of my class.
Let's dive into Notre Dame and Ohio State here, which, by the way, is the marquee, bar none, biggest matchup based off.
I think, but there's another one. There's two really big ones.
There's two really big ones.
I agree, this is the biggest.
This is the biggest, especially when you have number 5 at number 2 Ohio State. Best matchup of the weekend. Ohio State missed out on the playoff last season, but still finished 11-2, won the Rose Bowl. And the Buckeyes returned 14 starters, including Heisman candidate quarterback CJ Stroud. Also back is receiver Jackson Smith.
I wanted you to have to pronounce that.
And leading rusher.
What's his name?
I'm not even going to. JSN. I'm going to call him JSN for short because he needs a nickname. And leading rusher Trayvon Henderson. So Marcus Freeman is the coach, new coach for Notre Dame. A lot of hype around him. There's a lot of people, especially the players, are super excited about what he can bring. But Notre Dame, as per usual, the playoff hopes as an independent. They're trying to get their, resume built up. Tough schedule featuring BYU, Clemson, USC. Might make that push, but it's not a bad situation to start out and get a win at Ohio State to kick off the season week 1. So, with that being said, it's going to be interesting to see how quarterback Tyler Buchner plays in this hostile environment in Ohio State. It's going to be a massive, massive game. Should be a good one. Right now, we have the spread, as you can see here. Ohio State's 17-point favorites. I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards the plus 17 if I'm betting on it. Just eyeballing this without even diving into a lot of it. I know Ohio State's stacked. Notre Dame's going to play him tough, I think. I would actually take the spread. I don't know what the first half spread is. I would take Notre Dame in the first half spread. whatever that is. I don't even care what it is. I'll take it. I think it's gonna be a slow start to this game.
What if it's 20?
I don't. Well, the actual full game is 17. So
I'm just saying. You said you didn't care. I'll give you a line. I'll give you Notre Dame. That they have to just I'll give you Ohio State minus 19.
I'll pull it up while you jump into this one. I'll pull this up to see what that first half spread is, because I'm curious to see what I mean. I like that a lot without even thinking about it. Oh, here we go. First half.
Yeah. What's first half? I imagine it's probably in between 7.5 and 9.5.
Oh, woof. They don't even have anything here on FanDuel, at least. Yeah, they still never mind. I'll look it up later.
It's somewhere in between 7.5 and 9.5.
I would take the plus points anyways, but go ahead. Break this one down. What do you like? What are you interested in? Football wise, like go Irish. Ohio State easily covers 17, says Milwaukee's. The salt and pepper beard screams scholar. Yep, that's true.
Yeah, you do look like a scholar, Chris. The backwards hat, maybe not as much, but the bottom half, scholar and a gentleman.
Call me S&P.
Chris, I'm gonna get on my soapbox again.
Ooh, let's do it. Do it.
I've said it time and again with college football, and this is why I'm frustrated all the time with college football. And I used to like it a ton. I still like it. I enjoy watching games. But you have Notre Dame is the number 5 ranked team in the country, Chris. Not in a conference, not in a division, in the country.
Yep.
There's a lot of teams in the country, I believe, Chris. Yep. I don't know how many teams are in Division I football, but there's it's 3 figures. Notre Dame's number 5.
And it's still a 17-point.
It's a 17-point spread.
Yep. It's like
if this was the NFL, you'd have the worst team in history against the best team in history. Like there's no 7. It doesn't happen. It happens like I would say the amount of times in the NFL there's a 17-point spread is, probably on average 2 to 3 times all season, if that. And you have the number 5 team in the country as a 17-point dog at Ohio State. That's frustrating to me. I don't know how to fix college football, but fix college football where there's some parity. I don't want the number 2 versus number 5 to be a 17-point spread. I want it to be a close game, and maybe it will be. Maybe it will be a close game. I hope it will be. I hope it's an exciting game. I hope that for college football. I would like to tune in. I want to have some fun watching it. But you just have, you have a new coach in Notre Dame after their coach weirdly bailed for LSU. I actually like their new coach more. He was the defensive coordinator before. I forget his name off the top of my head. Which is bothering me that I can't think of his name. But anyway, you have maybe the Heisman front runner with Ohio State at quarterback.
Yeah, CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud, thank you. I was like, what am I doing here? CJ Stroud, Jackson Smith, and Ninja. I'm just going to call him Ninja. That's wrong.
I called him JSN.
We had, Ohio State. How great is it to be Ohio State? You had 2 first-round wide receivers go off the board in the draft this year, and you have another wide receiver that might have been the best last year, still just hanging out there. Not to mention, Jameson Williams left your school because he wasn't getting playing time and went to Alabama, balled out, and was a first-round pick. Like, Ohio State, if they're not wide receiver U right now, I don't know who is. They just get all the talent at wide receiver. I don't know if they've had a quarterback that's worked out in the NFL, but this dude, CJ Stroud, is a surefire right now. He would be he'd be number 1 or number 2 quarterback off the board, depending on whether you like him over Alabama's or not, moving forward. But honestly, I don't think this game's close, Chris. I think Ohio State dumps it on them. I don't think Notre Dame can hang offensively with Ohio State and what they're going to bring to the table, especially week 1. You talked about Tyler Buckner, the quarterback for Notre Dame, but he's pretty unproven. I know that they have some nice pieces at wide receiver with like Lorenzo Styles, but I just don't see it. I don't see how they stop Ohio State's offense, and I don't think they can keep up in Notre Dame. I think this game hits the over, and I think it's a blowout for Ohio State.
Now, keep in mind, so the Fighting Irish returned 8 starters on defense. So I know that there's a high-powered offense in Ohio State, and I know that that's going to be like they have a lot of starters coming back and a lot of Heisman candidates and, well, a Heisman candidate and everything else. But, you know, Freeman, the coach now, oversaw as a defensive coordinator before being elevated to head coach last year. I think that there's some value to saying, like, you know, the hype that they had when he got elevated to a head coaching job and that locker room and what it was like to see that, to win this first game or to like come out strong. I love this first half to be close. Just the hype, just the you know, you have the defensive unit that I think will be strong initially, but I think you're right. I think they run out of gas. And maybe it ends up getting out of hand in the second half. That's why I love the first half spread. But
I just think every time I've watched the Notre Dame play the heavyweights, they generally just can't hang. They can't hang.
It's fair. That's fair. I mean, you're not wrong.
I want to be wrong. I want this to be a close game. I really, really do. If it's a close game, I'll be glued to the television.
Sorry to be hijacked the chat. Actually, I'm just surviving. Hey, no, you do you, man. That's your.
What is happening in this? How? Oh, the Cardinals are now up 5-2. What's the problem? It's over.
It's golden. You're good. You're as golden as a domer right now. That's speaking of.
In a game that the world cares about, and by the world I mean only Cardinals fans, because the Reds fans don't care.
Yeah.
The Cardinals did it. So
yeah, so that's where we're at with this one. This one's going to be a fascinating game. I'll be watching it. Everyone will be watching it. Everyone will be hyped for this.
Huge names.
Yeah.
Number 2 versus number 5. Just somehow a 17-point spread.
It's ridiculous. It's just, you're right. There's an issue with college football and the parity that needs to be looked at, because when you look at a number 2 versus number 5, like if I were to ask you, what should the spread be? You would say anywhere from like 3 to maximum 5-point spread.
I would say it's at the number 2 team. I'd even be comfortable with a touchdown spread, but not 17.
17. That's ridiculous.
Silly.
Oh my goodness.
Random. I may need to support the stream to celebrate. Let's go Cardinals!
Let's go Cards. Let's go.
Let's
hype it up. Let's go.
Woo!
Man, what go Cards? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I always love the Cardinals.
Would you bet on Notre Dame if it was a 6-point spread, says Milwaukee? Easy money. Hold on.
No. What? No. Oh.
I mean, I would bet Ohio State if it was a 6-point spread. That would be a lock. Is that what you mean? All right. Oregon at Georgia. So this is one of your teams that you like to follow as well. You have a lot of friends. Oregon. Now, number 3, Georgia, opens with one of his toughest opponents, right? Oregon, number 11. So we have number 3, number 11 going at it. Again, a 17-point spread. Maybe a little bit more justified here with the, stretch of this spread versus the other one. Georgia obviously is always in the mix for the playoff, and they're always stacked. Oregon Ducks have former Bulldogs defensive coordinator Dan Lanning as their new head coach. Lanning added Auburn transfer quarterback Bo Nix this offseason, who also is expected to start Saturday. So there's some fun things that you will be able to see. Maybe some like revenge stuff going on. The big issue with me in this one is interesting is the the Georgia Bulldogs lose 8 starters on defense from last season, but linebacker Nolan Smith is returning. That's big. They just recruit so well that like even the new guys coming in, they replace those guys that left, right? So
and these weren't just like 8 normal guys. Those 8 guys I feel like went all in the first 2 rounds of the draft.
It's true.
They had like a ridiculous amount of the top 2 rounds. That's why they're the defending national champs. Roger. It's stupid the talent they've lost, and now they're at home losing 8 of their 11 defense. And let's be honest, the defense was by far the strength of the team last year. That was the best defense we've seen in college football and maybe in a while. Last year in Georgia. You lose 8 of 11, they're like, we're going to put you as 17-point favorites. This is not technically in Georgia's home state. This is in the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. So a home game for Georgia nonetheless, but not in their normal confines, but instead the Atlanta Falcons Stadium against the Oregon Ducks, who new coaching staff, transfer, and Bo Nix you talked about. I like Bo Nix. I liked Bo Nix. I mean, he's from SEC country. I liked him for a long time. I think he's going to be an upgrade at quarterback for what Oregon's seen since, well, at least since Herbert's been there, which was only a few years ago. But the strength of Oregon's team, ironically, is going to be their defense. You got Noah Sewell, pictured here, brother of Penei Sewell, linebacker, who's going to be, one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker in the country this year. You have other pieces. I'm trying to think of who I'm thinking of. Justin Flo, who was hurt like 2 straight years, but he's an absolute monster as a linebacker. Like, they could have the best linebacking core. I know linebacking core isn't like the most important thing on your roster, but that's the strength of Oregon. I like Bo Nix. We'll see what the new coaching staff can do. This is a tough, difficult start. And again, you said it's more appropriate. I'm still frustrated that it's 17 points. It's number 3 versus number 11. That shouldn't be more than 10, Chris.
I was going to say 7 to 10 seems reasonable to me. Stetson Bennett will be playing for the Dogs.
Stetson Bennett isn't even good.
He's not.
He's not even good.
He's not what they're used to.
I pictured him here, but he's not. He won a national championship, and he's not good.
Well, and the thing is, the Georgia Bulldogs didn't have to play from behind last year, right? Their defense was so good that they didn't have to have a high-powered offense, and it didn't need to be something like that they relied on consistently. Like, if they only scored 10 points, it's fine because the opponent scored, 6, whatever it is. Like, they did well in defending, and when you lose that many guys, so, if we see a Bo Nix from 2019 when he threw 2,542 yards and 16 touchdowns under the Ducks offensive coordinator Kenny Dillingham, like, that's golden. You're golden. So I think that this will be an interesting one. Durandam, okay, Chris, will you admit Georgia may win? I will admit that they may win.
And then he just said, well, can the Cards win? Go, Cards, go! Is that a chant to do?
Yeah.
Roger.
Yeah, we could chant Cards. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm eating some Chick-fil-A fries.
Oh, there you go. Yes, this is we're just getting relaxed on stream. We're a year, almost 2 years in, and we're just eating on stream now. We're just having a good time.
I mean, we sucked out of a hot dog last stream, Chris, so I think eating's fine at this point.
Athletic LT, what's up, buddy? Oregon upset alert. I like it.
Am all here for it. Listen, Oregon is kind of my college team.
Are you saying it?
I'm not diehard. I'm not like super diehard, but like I have a buddy who's super diehard, went to Oregon, and I've always kind of liked Oregon in their squad. So they've kind of become my like de facto team in college football. So I hope Oregon wins this and plays great. Let's keep in mind, early on last year, Oregon went on the road. I think it was on the road. Yeah, it was on the road to Ohio State and won. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
I had a childhood friend that played linebacker for Oregon as well.
You didn't have any friends.
Oh, I had all the friends, man. That's all I had. I didn't have brothers and sisters, so I needed to have friends.
You had friends like you had a master's degree. I'm just kidding.
Well, if that's the case, then I had a lot. Well, actually, I had one. Well,
one. Yeah. You had one friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I'm still questioning because that math was poor. So what was your master's degree in? I'm kidding.
Not math. Not math.
Love you, buddy.
Reckoning in the chat 2 on. This game is still going. It's 5-3.
2 on, 1 out, 5-3. This could easily get to a 5-5 game. And damn it, no.
I have a feeling UGA might regret letting Bennett stay too long. LOL, says Athletic. Yeah, I mean,
you can't get rid of the guy that was your quarterback when you won a national championship. But I think everyone can see he's not the reason they won a national championship. That defense was. We saw in the draft that defense. I've never seen a defense outside of like maybe Miami early 2000s in this century. That was a top 2 defense I've ever seen.
By the way, that Miami team, that was dirty. If you look at that starting lineup,
they were dirty in the sense they were paid a lot of money.
Well, that too. But they were the NFL stars that came out of that Miami squad. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. Let's dive into
Milwaukee. We got some good players from Georgia. Yeah, you got what? Inkobe Dean? How do you say his name? I don't know how to say his name. He's not on your fantasy roster though, so I'm surprised you know who he is.
Yeah, good point. Utah, Florida.
Cards won, Chris. Cards win. What was that? A double play? A little double play ball to finish it? I'll take it. Let's just end that misery. Great job, Cardinals.
Hey!
Let's go. Anytime
go.
You want to support the stream.
Utah at Florida. Number 7 Utah. So number 7 Utah. Spread here is 3 for Utah. So they are traveling across the country. Is this an early game? This is a late game. So, they'll have some time to settle in. So, Utah is a team that realistically has a chance to maybe do some fun things this year. Football, I think I know more play-by-play. She's like, football.
I enjoyed it. Football life.
This looks like, a game that could be interesting. Maybe some upset alert going on. It's a close enough game to where this could go a couple different directions, but it's tough to figure out, if Utah can go early on in Florida and steal a win. But they won the Pac-12 last year, finished 10-4. They returned 8 starters on offense, including Heisman Trophy hopeful quarterback Cameron Rising, leading rusher Tavon Thomas is also back. So they have some options that they can. Hey, Diacola, thank you for that. 12, another year
old. Can you believe it, Chris?
We have 1-year-olds running around everywhere.
These are people from the start because we weren't affiliates. So until we were affiliates, I think we became affiliates.
This is cool.
A year ago.
It's cool.
A year ago, Chris. And before that, you weren't allowed to, sub to the stream. So congrats to Diacola and Cuban for turning 1 year, our first 1-year-olds. It's just,
they're growing
special,
up. They grow up so fast.
Special.
They grow up so fast, Scotty.
I know.
They all grow up so
especially
fast.
when one. Never mind.
Congratulations, everybody, for all you guys turning 1-year-old. It's kind of a cool thing for us, too, to see you guys.
That is cool. That's our first time tonight. Was our first time seeing 12 months.
Yeah. And
cool.
You guys have been here oh my goodness. Thank you so much for all the support over the course of the last year.
How are you not at 12 months? What have you done wrong?
She's kind of trying to lap with the gifted subs, and she's trying to be 3 years.
She's lapped plenty.
She's
lapped plenty
absolutely.
of times. I was joking, by the way.
I'll drink
I hope people knew that.
Take
a drink.
There you go. Cheers. Cheers to 1-year-olds.
Yeah.
Florida, on the other hand, breaking down this game a little bit, has yet another new head coach, Billy Napier, inherited a roster with 13 returning starters, but the Gators will be kind of outmatched a little bit more from this Utah team, in my opinion. But Utah, they were a 2.5 point spread favorite. It kind of dropped to 3. Florida has a 32 game winning streak in home openers, which is an interesting stat. So it kind of makes me a little worried that they play really good right out the gates. But crowd will keep the Gators in this game, I think, a little bit more than you would expect. But the talent, I think, by Utah it should outlast what Florida brings. I think Utah covers this enough at the end, but there is upset alert all over this.
Again, Chris, make it make sense. The number 2 versus number 5 has a 17-point spread. This is number 11 or 8. What'd you say?
No, this is number 7. Number 7.
Number 7 versus an unranked team on the road, and it's a 3-point spread. I just don't understand anything about anything. Saying that, I think this is going to be the most... If you want to tune into one game thinking it's going to be a competitive matchup, this is the one. I think Florida should be ranked. I think Florida's definitely a top 25 team. I'd probably put them as a top 20 team. I also think Utah is vastly underrated almost every year. This is a team that won the Pac-12 last year. No one thought at that time they were going to be that team. They bring back their quarterback. They bring back their running back. They bring back a ton of pieces. Yeah, they lost Devin Lloyd, the elite linebacker on defense, who in the first or second round of the draft. I can't remember for sure. But you have Anthony Richardson, this everyone wants to talk about this quarterback for Florida as a highlight film. He put the ball in the air 64 times last year, Chris. He didn't play a lot. He completed 59% of those passes, so not a high percentage of passes. No. He literally had 529 yards in the air and 401 yards on the ground. So he's a big, he'll run the ball a lot. He's a big dude. He can do, he's shifty. He has a lot with his legs. We just got to figure out, does he really have anything with his arm? I think this game's going to be fun to watch. I agree with you. I lean Utah. I think Utah's always vastly underrated. I think they are again this year. In fact, Utah over on win total is one of my favorite. I don't have a lot of college football plays, but that's one of the few that I like a lot.
The over under 51.
I'm sorry. The over on their win total for the year.
Chris. Win total. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that they're going to be an interesting conversation at the end of the season, depending on how their season plays out. If they win,
they could play. They could be a
could be
top
in the
4
mix.
team.
Could be in the mix.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Cincinnati, Arkansas is where we started. So, those are some of our top games that we wanted to dive into here, and we wanted to make sure that you guys, again, we're not going to be covering a ton. We're not big enough to have our own college football weekly preview yet. We need more support. We need more people to, share the stream and get more viewers and get more people in here. And eventually when we're able to quit our job, Scotty, and do this full time, we'll be able to spend a day doing college football, a day doing NFL football, a day doing NBA previews during that season. The sky's the limit with what we can do. But what we need to do to grow, guys, is have you guys help support us in not monetarily, just getting other people that to join our stream and be a part of what we have going on here and chat and, grow our viewership and just have some fun with us and talk some sports. That's what we're here to do. So, the more we're able to do that, the more we're able to expand our offerings, and we want to give love to college football eventually. So help us out. Let's spread the word. The Man Beard Show after dark. Yes, Broncos.
Yeah.
Top game was already played, says Reckoning. Sleep. So we're ahead of schedule tonight. We're less than 2 hours into our stream, and we're already getting ready for the coming in hot.
We knew this was going to be a shorter one because it's been a long week, Chris. We did stream on Monday. We streamed last Thursday.
Yep.
We've been busy. I had a draft last night with Kyle King. I feel like I've just been constantly
And
doing stuff.
we got to save a lot of energy for this coming week, Sunday and next Wednesday and next Thursday and Sunday Night Football. Guys, we are 7 days, 16 hours, 40 minutes, and 55 seconds away from Christmas come early. Like, it's going to be incredible. And so we'll take a short stream tonight knowing what we have ahead of us.
I might cry on Thursday as we open up our stream, Chris.
We might both be.
I might tear up a little. That's how happy I am for NFL football to be back. And such a damn good game to start. I mean, Rams, Bills? Are you kidding me?
But
I know they always have good matchups. And last year was Bucks Cowboys, and it was a phenomenal football game. I love it. Football Wife wants to hear my draft from last night, Chris. I think it's a really good idea.
Let's dive into that. Actually, all right, I'll let you dive into it. I'm gonna pull up. By the way, I promised you guys we would get you hyped for the college football season by throwing out a couple quick videos. We're gonna do that real quick here in a second. So, Scotty, do you want to go over your draft?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out real quick how I pull up the actual draft board in this. It's on the Sleeper app. How do I pull up? So this was an auction league, guys. So this was not what we did at all. It wasn't a traditional snake draft. It was an auction league. So you get $200 budget, and you have to budget appropriately for your squad based off that 200. Guys, I don't know how I did it. And it's also a super flex league, which means you're basically it's basically a 2 quarterback league. It's a 2 quarterback league, 10 team league. And Chris, I think sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I think I was mostly lucky, but I got Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady at quarterback.
Not bad.
Okay. And with Jameis as my third. I did get a third quarterback because with starting 2, you need somebody on your bench. I got Lamar Jackson for like $20. Like, Justin Herbert went for like 40 plus. 42, 44, 46. Like, I got Lamar Jackson for $20. I've seen rankings where he's the number 2 quarterback in fantasy this year. And there were probably 7 or 8 quarterbacks that went for a higher amount than him. It was wild.
Interesting.
I don't know. And I got Tom Brady. I got Lamar for 20, and Tom Brady actually had to pay like I think 19 or 21 for. I don't remember. Either way, love them both. Especially Tom Brady. It's a 6-point touchdown league, so passing TD gets you 6 points, and that's why I like Brady even more because he throws for a lot of touchdowns. So moving on to running backs, I have the wonderful Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette. My number 3 is Chase Edmonds. I got on my bench Melvin Gordon and Kenneth Gainwell. Wide receivers, I have Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, Brandon Cooks, Christian Kirk. Like, between Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs, you could argue that's number 4 and 5 in the league at wide receiver in fantasy.
It's not bad.
DJ Moore's a top 20 for sure. And you could argue Brandon Cooks is a top 25. So my number 4 is a top 25 receiver. Tight end Zach Ertz, and I got Albert O on my bench. Whatever. Not great at tight end, but Zach Ertz is serviceable. He'll be probably top 10.
Albert O will have I think he'll have some targets, man.
My team is predicted to score 8 more points than any other team in the league in week 1, Chris. I got the highest grade. I couldn't have dreamed of getting it. I got Leonard Fournette for $20, and I was just like I got McCaffrey early on for 42 when Eckler had already gone for 44. DeAndre Swift had gone for 42. Jonathan Taylor went for 50. Oof. And I got McCaffrey for 42, equal to or less than all of those guys. And I'm like, I know he's injury prone, but if he's in, he's the best. Yeah. He's literally the best. I mean, guys, that fantasy team is so stacked. So stacked. I couldn't have dreamed of anything better.
Cuban better. I played fantasy lat for the first time last season. It was an auction league, and didn't fully understand what was going on for a few rounds. Blew my wad on McCaffrey. Hey, it's a random. You got gifted by Valor.
He continued it on. Thank you to random. Continue on that gifted sub from Valor, but it looks like you figured out that how to link the Prime. So let's keep that rolling. Thank you so much to Random. You worked hard at that. I appreciate it. And now you got to figure it out. It should be easy moving forward, month to month.
Deacle actual money? No, it's just not. I don't think it's actual money. It shouldn't be.
No, that one's like Kyle King is another Twitch streamer that does a lot of sports content. Obviously, if you haven't heard of him, check him out. He's usually on in the mornings, so way different time, but quite a few mornings. I don't know his exact schedule. So it was like 5 streamers and 5 of his followers he calls Kingsmen because his last name is King.
By the way, guys, if we're talking a lot of fantasy sports, if you guys haven't gotten in on our Pick'em or our Survivor, the links are in the chat right now. Join in. It's free to enter. We will be giving away prizes for the top finishers in each league. Again, we're going to be giving away hoodies and hats and all sorts of cool gear. Make sure you guys are in on those. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Kind of like a Twitch Prime sub. Make sure you join in on the Pick'em and the Survivor. Time is running out. We only have 7 days, guys, to join these leagues. Once that first game kicks off, I guess you can still join the Pick'em league. That's fine. Survivor League, you have to be there from the beginning. So make sure you guys are joining.
That's probably by Sunday, but yes.
Yeah, because or you can pick Monday if you want to wait till last minute. But then
pick the Seahawks, probably
pick the Seahawks with Geno Smith. Yeah. And then you just want people to not win prizes or what?
Don't sleep on those Seahawks, Chris.
I'm not sleeping on. I'm going into a coma on the Seahawks. They're not going anywhere. Have not figured out how to link to Prime yet. Exclamation point Prime.
I will say, Durandum, if you're doing it mobily, it's very difficult. If you're doing it from a computer and a desktop, it's much easier. It's not integrated very well with their mobile app at all to use your Prime. Maybe that's on purpose. I don't know, but it's pretty weak.
Rain City bitch.
Pretty weak. Twitch.
Rain City bitch pigeon says Reckoning. Yeah, no, it's pretty much sums it up. Real quick, I want to get you guys hyped for this college football season real quick. So I'm going to try to pull this up. It's going to be kind of sloppy here because I wasn't planning on this. And then all of a sudden it's like we're here. So let me pull this up real quick. And I want to just get this started. Let's start with jump around. This is by far one of the... Hold on. Give me a second here. We're gonna pull this.
The green screen, guys. That's how you use technology. It's the future.
Fact.
And we have an ad.
Homes faster than other agents.
There we have
that. It's only 6 seconds.
We're good. If your business.
Oh no, it's a double ad. It's a double ad. Let's just skip that.
We're only 1 second away.
All right. This is fun stuff. Is this it? This is it,
right? You tell me, Chris. This looks like a race between some weird objects that I don't understand on the big screen. There's Jump Around. There's the song I know. Oh. So they play Jump Around, and then just to be clear, the students jump around.
I mean,
Minnesota's
jumping around too.
Road team's like, all right, I'll get into this.
I mean, look at that crowd though.
Let's go. Listen, I mean, college football crowds. Chris, I have not lived because I haven't been to a Big Ten school. I haven't been to an SEC school on the road. I have not been to a single, like, legitimate. I've been to, like, literally Colorado and Colorado State for college football games. As a kid, I went to, like, Oklahoma State, but I barely remember it. I have not been to these great and those are all on my bucket list. All on my bucket list.
So
jump.
That crowd is vibrating. It's like a breathing entity. It's just like, all right. So then there's that. This one gives me chills.
And that's for their offense, who's typically terrible.
This one gives me chills.
Like, what is this? Is this even legal to have, like, that stands alone? I don't care what they're doing. Such a huge
Just let
stadium.
this one, I'm going to let this one breathe. This one is, I mean, this crowd. That's insane.
I feel like this game opened up like college football season last year.
It did. This was when we got back from COVID and nobody gave a fuck.
I mean, that doesn't look like anyone was giving any fucks there. That's such a vast, like, that stadium actually gives me anxiety right there when I see that shot. Like how crowded it is. Like, how do I get out? Where do I go? How do I get a beer? Perhaps. But epic.
So good. That crowd is,
and none of those kids have ever heard of Enter Sandman until they enter that stadium, probably, and they're like, "Oh, I have to learn this song."
It's insane, and that hype. Oh man! Hey, Fireball!
Fireball, thank you for the raid.
All I think of, whenever Fireball raids us, I think it's like Fireball. The song, when he hits that and is like, you get that. What is that?
I don't know that song, Chris.
What's
that song?
Who sings that? Isn't that
maybe you sang it wrong. Did you sing it wrong?
Fireball. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds wrong.
What? I don't know what song that is. Pitbull.
Pitbull and John Ryan?
Yeah, see? I don't know what I'm talking about.
Ryan is, but that did not sound like Pitbull, Chris.
Hey, hope you had a great stream, Fireball. Let me give you a shout out to @Fireball. Let's go. I'm
gonna listen to this song to know how poorly you delivered that.
I mean, I could just pull it up here on YouTube real quick. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, I think you nailed it, Chris. That was perfect.
I mean, we're off the rails here.
We're going to answer one question. Chris, what do you think?
I'm going to get a copyright claim for this.
This sounds like the Elitch song. Like They should have a copyright issue with how they've started this.
Yeah, well.
Or is this how the song originated? I'm so confused.
I'm on fire.
Oh, I like those lyrics. Baby, 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 I'm on fire.
See, you missed it.
Yeah, but you made it sound like country western.
No, I did not.
And it was Pitbull. I thought it was a country song when you said it.
No shot.
And it was Pitbull. It was Pitbull.
Fireball.
You could have given me
not country.
Guesses.
There's no way that's country.
You could have given me a million guesses with how you pulled that out, and I would have never guessed Pitbull. And I don't know a million artists.
Missed it, Scotty. Talks too much.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Not bad.
It's fine. I'll play it one more time for you here, and then
Chris, you say it one more time again.
Hold on one sec.
While doing songs, let's make Scotty do some country karaoke.
Ooh, country karaoke.
Yeah, if I do country, I get super twangy. Like I go over the top twangy for no reason at all, because I don't know what else to do.
All right.
Fireball.
Oh, you timed that out nicely.
I'm a fireball.
Fireball. See? It sounds. I mean, it's right
But
there.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to your other ones. But I think they were more like fireball. Like you had like some twang to it. Like I thought it was country.
Anyway.
I thought it was country for sure when you said it. And then it ended up being Pitbull, and then shock in my eyes was just like, I thought it was Jonathan Ryan. When he said it was Pitbull and John Ryan, I was like, must be John Ryan. I don't know who that is. So it must be that guy.
See, Fireball comes into our chat, and all of a sudden it just we love our raids. We love our raids. But you guys are just in time for a Scotty A. Smith coming in hot. So we're going to probably be ending here very, very soon at the top of the hour. Nice short stream. This might be the shortest stream we've had in a while. 2 hours.
I like, it's going to be like 2.5 hours. Well, no, we're at 2:12, so it won't be that long.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty. I mean, it's a decent stream.
Still, lived here all my life. I've never been to Folsom Field. Just found out today that I won tickets to the game this Friday. Let's go.
Nice, Broncos.
I mean, cash in on that. That's sweet.
Enjoy the game.
You're not going to be disappointed. It's fun catching the game.
Folsom's cool. Boulder's just cool in general. I'm not gonna lie. I went to Colorado State, but I have nothing but love for Colorado and Folsom in general.
Reckoning.
What are you laughing at?
Well, Reckoning. Well, first of all, how much country? I know a pretty good amount of country, but I love the second question here. The second statement. The shortest stream was definitely the laundry room stream. Yeah.
As it needed to be.
Remember that? We did a laundry room stream on
Yeah, in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Seems like yesterday.
That was in May.
But we got a first time chatter. Reckoning will take care of him.
I was gonna say, is that a first time chatter, or is that our lovely bot?
Get out. Someone ban this.
Yeah. Reckoning can't ban now?
You can't ban anymore right now?
I don't know why Reckoning's here. Why is Reckoning here if he can't ban?
Oh, he can't ban. I'll just do it. I'll just hear.
Mobile modding. You can't mobilely mod and ban?
I guess it makes sense.
I don't know. How does that make sense?
Well, you should.
Twitch, fix this.
Mobile modding sucks. Hey, well, at least,
how can you even mod if you're not banning? What's the point of a mobile mod if you can't even ban? That's the only thing. If I would be the worst mod ever. I would ban everyone almost instantly.
Fuck that. Come to Camp Randall or Lambeau Field, says Milwaukee's.
Yeah, I'm not saying like the atmosphere at Folsom Field's going to compare with some of those other places, but the setting and the surrounding area in Boulder is gorgeous. The stadium has had some upgrades. It's all right. I mean, it's nice. It's not great. I think it could be better, but it's all right. So the team, not so good.
Yeah,
not so good.
I think I linked it now, but not sure it will let me use my. Since you already subbed, it's already like locked in. So next month, it's free for you. You just click and just subscribe. So you're set up. There you go.
Let's go.
Save that money.
Proud of you.
Y'all gotta
proud of you, Random.
Heinz Field during Renegade. Yeah, it's Heinz Field. Don't ask. I mean, what's interesting? Avalanche.
It's not Heinz Field.
Avalanche have. It's not Heinz Field. No.
Nope. Can't call it that.
Avalanche have Blink 182. That's a fun one. If you haven't seen that one, go check that out on YouTube. That's a cool one. That's the only local one I think that really like stands out.
Say it ain't so. I will not go. Turn the lights on. I'm trying to sing it poorly. Honestly, you don't have to be that talented to sing Blink 182 though. So that's maybe why it works.
All right, let's get to it though. Coming in hot, Scotty's got a little bit of a take here on the NFL and some things that they've been putting out on NFL Network in relation to maybe some ranking lists. And we have some things to say, Scotty more so than me. And we're going to dive right in. Here we go. Hope you guys are ready. Scotty A. Smith coming in hot. Let's spam those hypes. Let's get it.
All right, you guys have probably seen it. You've heard it. You've looked at it. The NFL Network's top 100 player list comes out every year. They used to bleed it out. It was like 10 players every week. They at least got faster with it, so it wasn't obnoxious. But let's take a look at this top 10. I have one player that I want to reference, at least one outside of this top 10 that is certifiably insane. But let's just start at the top, guys. Let's start at the top. Tom Brady, the GOAT, the single greatest player success-wise to ever play. He broke his career high in completions and passing yards last year. He had a phenomenal season. Let's keep in mind, he played one more game. It was 17 games instead of 16. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl 2 years ago and was ranked 7th on this list. Now he turns 45. He doesn't even make the conference championship game in his conference. And he moves up to 1. Someone explain that to me. I know this is player, like NFL Network takes no responsibility. They're like, or the NFL, they're like, oh, this is just players voting. How many players vote? And do they give a fuck? Do they care? Because it feels like they don't care. It feels like they're like, I don't know. Tom Brady, I hear, is good. And he's almost out of the league. So let's give him like a end of his rope award to be the top player. No one thinks Tom Brady is the best player in the league. Tom Brady does not think he's the best player in the league. And if he does, he's senile. He's too old to function and understand in his brain that he's not, that no one. Tell me a GM that would, and I'm not saying starting a franchise, I'm saying this season. If a GM had their pick of the litter and picked Tom Brady, I would fire him before they had their second pick. I would fire him now. Okay, you move down the list. Aaron Donald, fine. Obviously, the biggest defensive presence we've had. Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs, chokes in the playoffs. Okay, Cooper Kupp, historical wide receiver season. Fine. Jonathan Taylor had a incredible year last year. But to be a top 5 player in the league, when you're a running back, you have to be transcendent. You have to be someone we haven't seen before. You have to have a trait that I literally can't label how you're able to do it. Jonathan Taylor's very, very good at most aspects of his job. Is he a top 5 player in the league? No, he's not a top 20 player. He's not a top 30 player in this league. He's behind maybe the best offensive line in the game. Do you think that might play a part in his yardage last year? Do you think it might be his offensive line? What if his offensive line just gets re-upped and revamped and he has 5 new offensive linemen that are rookies this year? Do you think Jonathan Taylor next year would be ranked number 5? Hell no. Hell no. Pat Mahomes at 8. That's adorable. I mean, I love it. Go ahead and throw Mahomes at 8. He's just, had 4 years of starting, made the conference championship or Super Bowl every year, those 4. And he's borderline top 10 player in the league. Cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. And you know who, even worse, Chris? We don't have Josh Allen on this list. Josh Allen was 13. 13. Apparently, the players that voted on this didn't watch. They literally didn't watch the greatest football game in the NFL we've seen in a long, long time last year in the playoffs between the Chiefs and Bills. Because to rank Mahomes 8 and Josh Allen 13 after watching that game is an abomination. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting. Let's stop letting the players rank. They clearly don't know what they're talking about. to advocate like, oh, we let the players rank this, so this is an official list. Players clearly don't watch. They give two shits about what's going on in the league. They're worried about me, myself, and I, and maybe their team as well, depending on who they are. Clearly, they don't watch. Don't ask them anymore. But that's what the NFL Network probably wants. They just want clickbait. They want a terrible list, so everyone talks about it. Everyone goes to it. Because if it was a good list, it'd probably get less clicks. Which is a testament to the media today in general, Chris, and why it drives me insane. You don't have to be right. You just have to get clicks and be interesting. How do we fix this? As a broad scope, forget sports. Sports is a problem with that. Everything else is way worse. Way worse. The media coverage does not care whether they're right. They need to be first, and they need to get clicks. That's all that matters to them. How do we fix it? Where do we go from here? I jumped from top 100 to this weird rant about media. I get it, but that's where I felt I needed to go. Thank you for listening. Thanks for joining tonight, and thanks for enjoying my rant.
Yeah, man, it's a weird list, man. We got some people in the chat, destroy on site, the ridiculous. Absolutely. I mean, it's all clickbait. Stop clicking, no chance. I still click to find one secret that personal trainers hate. Yeah, like, here's the thing, guys. These lists, I mean, I was looking at the rest of this. Myles Garrett is 11 on this. Myles Garrett.
I'll drink to that.
One of the guys that you're just like, I'll drink to that. Yeah, like, I mean, there are some weird, and don't get me wrong, Myles Garrett's talented, but we've talked about it on this stream.
It's all projection. I mean, he had a good year last year, but
like, he what? Like, over Josh Allen? I mean, there's just some strange rankings on this, and it's just like, are we living in just a clickbait world? I mean, once in a while we'll throw out clickbait, just for having fun, but like, realistically, we're not doing the same thing, like, Kendrick Perkins, or just throwing out just trash takes, right? Trash lists
that he'll change within a month and probably say we never said it. If I put out a list, I'm holding to that list. I'm not just making it up for fun.
Stand on it.
How does NFL Network, like, the man is 45 years old, Chris, and you're gonna label him the best player in the league? I mean, stop. What are we doing?
It's crazy.
What are we doing?
You're completely spot on with this. It's just at this point, it's just comical. I mean, this is, there always are like, where do you guys have these guys ranked? I mean, even go into the middle tiers, like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, there are some strange rankings, and it's like, come on, man, hit us with a legit list. Actually take some time to put in the effort to say, hey, this guy, are you saying that a GM, like you said, would take Mahomes or Allen over Tom Brady? Or would they take Tom Brady over Allen and Mahomes? Like,
and quite frankly, a top 100 players list is just stupid in general in football, because there's different values to different positions. You should just break it up, and you should do quarterbacks, wide receivers, running. You should do every position and draw it out. If the NFL was smart, they'd be like, all right, we're gonna have a top 10 offensive tackle show, and people would watch. People love the NFL. They'll watch. I want to know who the top 10 offensive tackles are. But to say that like Jalen Ramsey is a top 10 like most valuable player, and I know that's different than talent, is stupid. There's no chance that Ramsey is as important to his team as Josh Allen at 13, right? Like, that's wild. So if you're just talking most important, it'd just be a flood of quarterbacks, which is boring. So don't do it that way. Just change it up. Stop making top 100 players in the league list, because it's all relative. And how do you base it off position? Like, Cooper Kupp before Matthew Stafford wouldn't have breathed, wouldn't have touched number 4 overall, and he probably wasn't even in the top 100 ever. Maybe he was, but if he was at the very, very end, and then he gets a new quarterback, and he's now number 4? Come on.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And it's just, wow. These lists just keep getting worse and worse. Let me go. Spot on. Scott says Diacola. I'll drink to that. One of the weaker rants. You're doing exactly what the NFL wants, and it's not something worth being upset about, says Reckoning.
Yeah, maybe. You might be right. I can't argue that necessarily, but
I don't know, man.
I think it
needs to be said. I think it needs to be said. I think so. Like, I mean, come on, man. Let's just switch this up. Let's switch the narrative. Also, trivia: St. Louis Cardinals have 3 guys ready to retire after this year. There are blank X more rookies. 3. How many times more rookies on the Cardinals this season?
I don't know. 3.
I would say 2. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But Alexander's better than Ramsey, says Milwaukee's.
Of course.
The
Packer.
But that's
they're both very good.
Sky's the closest 4. Okay, there you go. All right. Fair enough. Well, that's gonna take us to the end here, guys. And we are going to get the credits rolling at the end of the show. We are a shorter show tonight, only 2 hours and 27 minutes. That's a marathon. That's a sprint for us. So, But you know what that means, though? It's getting ramped up more and more. We are on fire starting Sunday night. We are going to be gearing up. We're going to be making all of our picks for the playoffs, for the Super Bowl. We're going to be having some fun conversations around those projections and predictions. We're also going to be gearing up. We're going to announce our website and our team store. Hopefully, we're going to be launching that on Sunday. And we have some sports stories that we're going to be hitting on as well leading into the NFL season. Also, next Wednesday, make sure, spread the word, guys. We want to make sure we get more and more people into the lab. If you have friends that are into football and really excited about the season, tell them about Twitch. Tell them what we have going on here because we really want them to join in. And it's cool to have your friends in here. It's cool to have familiar faces. We like to get to know everybody in here and make sure that everyone's having a great time. So, guys, we're at the countdown, 7 days away. That's it. 7 freaking days, says Football Life. You're right.
Oh,
let's go. And we are there. So make sure you guys are tuning in each and every single week, each and every single day. And we will be giving you the best coverage you could possibly imagine here on Twitch. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. It's downhill from here, guys. We only had tomorrow's Thursday, then Friday, then we're on the weekend. So you're just coasting at this point. You're just coasting. You're enjoying the rest of your week. Go out there, be a good person to everybody that, just be a good person. Like, there's a lot of crazy shit out there in the world and a lot of negative stories, a lot of everything else. But if all of, how many people do we have? We have, we've been averaging around 20-ish people. If 20 people can be good people and spread the word to be a good person, the world's going to be a better place. Scotty, I'm going to find a way to destroy you, says Kyle King.
Kyle King, you have to make 5 epic trades to even touch my team. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know how you destroy me because my team is so damn good. So damn good. I still don't know how I got Lamar for 20. So weird.
Name one big name off KC or Denver that would start for Green Bay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Sutton. Any wide receiver on all our teams.
4 of the 5 offensive linemen for the Chiefs would start for Green Bay.
And every wide receiver for both the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Chris Jones, D tackle. There's some corners that probably would. Our linebacking core is better. I mean, maybe more than half the roster, Milwaukee. I don't know what you want me to do with that. Kyle, I thought you were gonna pick up Kenny Galladay and that sweet trade offer you had this morning. So keep making good deals like that. I knew what you were doing when you were like, yeah, send me that trade so I can just reject it beyond belief.
Great show. Enjoy the heat wave while the nudie beaches are still open. There you go.
Oh my gosh, it's so hot here, Chris.
It is. It's like 90s.
It's gonna be September tomorrow, and it's like 93 tomorrow.
All right. So with that being,
so Scott benches Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I'm benching him for Patrick Mahomes. I feel just fine about that. Mahomes has been in more Super Bowls in 4 years than Rodgers has his whole career.
You're not wrong. I mean,
Roger.
I feel fine about that. But you go with the weird Aaron Rodgers. I don't even know what to say about Aaron Rodgers outside of he's a weird dude.
Guys, the weather is cooling off. It's almost chilly, like chilly in the crock pot weather.
It's not. It's literally 90s almost, the next like 10 days in Denver.
But I just want it. I just want it so much. Fall is the best.
What are we in Houston?
Oh my god!
Right, Kyle? No snow. I agree. No snow. Let's just have a nice like a high of like 67. A nice soft breeze. Maybe some leaves falling and changing colors to make it football season. And let's have that for like a year straight.
Let's do it, man. Let's make it happen. Roger's biggest bowl is the one he ruins after ayahuasca. Hoodies and jeans, says Football Wife. She's all about the hoodies and jeans. By the way, Football Wife, let me send you a hoodie. Just come on, help me help you. Help me help you.
I wore our hoodie on our last stream, Chris. And I've never had neck sweat more than I did that. Like I told you when we got off, I'm like, I literally was losing my mind with how sweaty I was. I tried it. Didn't work. We're not there yet. So you guys are just going to have to see me either topless or in a thin t-shirt. Okay. For the time being. Maybe topless next show. We'll see.
So go out, be a good person, guys. I don't want to see you topless anywhere.
Scotty with the glowing endorsement for the merch. Eventually, the hoodie's nice. The hoodie's very soft.
It's great in the wintertime.
I don't even wear a shirt underneath. I don't know if you guys feel like that's weird, but I just throw that hoodie on and it's soft as can be.
But guys, all I can say is be here Sunday for when we launch our website with the new teams, the Action Lab HQ. Everything, it's all going to be there. We're going to have our podcast loaded in on there as well. We're going to have all of what you need to just be connected into the Action Lab, our socials, everything. So make sure you guys are in on that as well. So we'll make sure you have all the tools in a one-stop shop for you. So be a good person. Go out, live in the moment. Between now and our next stream, you won't regret it. I promise you. Put down the phone, enjoy the people around you, enjoy some scenery, whatever that may be. And we will see you back here in the lab live on Sunday night, breaking down all of our predictions about what's going to happen this season coming up. It's our final locked in projections and predictions. So can't wait to get there. Have a great night, guys. We're going to send you over to Human Juke. He's one of our favorites to send you to. He is an amazing voice. He'll vibe you into the rest of your evening just the way you expect. And he always crushes. So make sure you go give Human Juke some love. Give him a follow. Make sure he is on your radar for your late night streams because the vibes you'll vibe with him. Let's go.
Late night streams. I can't get. Yeah, you can get
that old jazzy voice.
I'm still waiting to get into puberty. It'll come. I feel good that one day I will have a deep voice.
All right, let's get you all set for these late night vibes. Yeah.
Which country? Let's ride. I don't know. That was so bad. Can I take that back?
Let's ride. It's game day in Morgantown. Papa, by the way, who's your team and where you're from? Hit that follow button. We're just going off now, but hit that follow button so you know when we go live this coming Sunday. We want to get to know you a little bit, and I feel bad that we're getting off right before we can get to know you. There we go. Hey, can't wait to
cover
have
that face. That was lined up almost perfectly to cover my face, Chris. Well done.
West Virginia. I love it. So I despise Pitt. LOL. That's fine. You can despise Pitt all you want. Let's go,
Mountaineers. I lived for a brief portion of my young life in Charleston, West Virginia. So let's beat Pitt this weekend. Let's go.
So yeah, we can't wait
to have Cuban. That was Casey Kasem.
Rip Casey Kasem.
Yeah, coming back, reincarnate through. I think you were probably talking about Chris because my voice was real bad.
So, Pap and Buddy Girl, make sure you join us here Sunday. We can't wait to get to know you a little bit closer, but we're going to send you over to Human Juke. Have a great night. We will see you back here Sunday, guys. Love you.
Good night, everybody. Love you all.